This is Sacktown Sports.
Of workplace negligence or...
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. On
just day after the first football game. I wonder if people in England say it's a football match, or do they accidentally call it a football match and then somebody says no, they call it a football game.
We call it a game here,
right? Although I've learned that that's kind of crap, because that was the big thing, is we were trying to not learn, but adhere to the lingo early when we got over there. And then I see them calling it their soccer matches, their football matches. I see them calling it a game all the time.
I thought by the way, last night, the Ravens and Cheifs kits looked great.
That's another thing I can't get used to. A kit, not a uniform, not a jersey, a kit.
but they call it a jersey.
Right.
And a shirt.
That's what I'm saying. Like, now they never call it soccer. It's always football. And they have this idea that they don't, and by the way, I'm making sweeping comments. Let me just say the majority, because there are some exceptions, but over there, they don't have the right appreciation that we do for American football. They think it is a more dainty form of rugby, and it's confusing to them. And I don't know that I have a tremendous argument other than I don't know. And maybe I'm wrong here, but I feel like if all things were equal and you had 10 of the best NFL players train for 6 months and 10 of the best rugby players train for 6 months and try to switch sports, I feel like the NFL players, and again, it'd have to be certain types, certain sizes, but I feel like the NFL players would actually do better in rugby.
Oh, no way.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm. They don't have, I don't think they have the conditioning for it.
Well, that's why you don't think they have the conditioning. See, what
Because
I'm
like
saying
rugby
is,
doesn't stop.
Right, but it's also
won't stop.
I'm just having a hard time believing that, like, for example, Derrick Henry would not smash over in rugby.
Okay, who are the next 9?
Okay. Derrick Henry. I think Tyreek.
Yeah, this is to say, I think if the rugby players game, you got the best 11 rugby players and they play football, they would get their heads kicked in.
That's what I'm saying. Like, every once in a while you hear about a rugby player coming over, it's like this amazing story. And I think you'd have more NFL players go over there. There's just not the money. I mean, there's money. It's not the same, though.
It's not money.
It ain't money, Jason Ross. Good morning.
No, I'm all about that money.
Money.
Well, I hope every football game this year is like last night. That's my big statement.
Yeah, the NFL's pretty good, isn't it?
That game had, I mean, look, it wasn't the greatest game ever, don't get me wrong, but for game one back, 2 top-of-the-line teams, although you never know. Like in this case, you do know. You know that the Ravens and Chiefs are going to be 2 of the top teams.
Sure, like it.
It did. I'm always scarred, though, and this goes back a while, but there was a Thursday night game. I think it was one of the first Thursday night opener games, and I want to say it was, I've brought this up before. It was like Pittsburgh and Tennessee. It was Pittsburgh and Tennessee, and it was a really good game. And after the game, everyone was like, "Oh man, these guys are going to be wait till the rematch of the AFC champion. These guys are going to battle it out." I think Pittsburgh finished like a game over 500. Tennessee was in last place. Like, there are some things that can get covered up, but last night, The Chiefs, there was tremendous offense at times. Then there was great defense at times. There was controversy. There were great plays by great players. It was the return of my Mahomes blood pressure. It's just like this guy, dude. I gotta think playing against Patrick Mahomes. Okay, so remember yesterday how I was talking about how I smashed my Mortal Kombat game because it was cheating, right? I feel like that's how players feel playing against Patrick Mahomes. Like they're liable to commit personal fouls out of frustration because, oh, hey, it's 3 giant linebackers and they have Mahomes swallowed up, and somehow he squirts out 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage and completes a 15-yard first down.
Yeah, after a 360 pirouette, going the wrong way, then, you just like, I got it. No, I don't. I mean, both guys, Lamar Jackson too, like, I'm with you. I thought the game started great and finished great. In between, it was fine. It wasn't like it was a bad game by any means, but the start and the end were just amazing. It's just amazing television.
And we're going to obviously break this game down as if we were in Baltimore or Kansas City because it's the only one we have to break down right now. But I'll say this, we always have fun with Lamar Jackson hater guy on the text line. Lamar Jackson had a phenomenal game, both as a runner and as a passer, but Jason, he missed that shot to Zay Flowers, and that's a thing. I mean, It really is a thing now where you can be an MVP, you can be a fantastic quarterback, running back, the whole thing. Like he is a total package, but throughout the history of sports, you have players that when it comes to crunch time, they're either Mahomes and Brady or they're Lamar Jackson, and I'm sure 900 other examples.
Yeah,
and
and sometimes, Dave, you need the I don't know, when you've just won so many of those like Mahomes has, sometimes things go your way, right? In this case, if you think about it from the Chiefs' perspective, the drive that they could have put the game away, they didn't get the first down. So Mahomes was the quarterback there. He was, and he did not have the ball last. And we all know the final play. I mean, if that's different, what I'm still like, we got robbed of this. They were going for 2.
Yep, they were.
I can't believe that to win the game. That was awesome. And, we didn't get any of that. But in the end, it's like, oh, Mahomes did it again. It's like, well, yes, but it wasn't in the typical fashion that he's done before. So, I thought it was awesome, and those 2 quarterbacks are, won 4 MVPs combined for a reason. They were good.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I was so ready. Like in this space of the 15 seconds between seeing John Harbaugh say we're going for 2 and them reversing the play, however long that was, I was just already picturing our conversation today, and I got to be honest, Jason. And I can't believe I'm saying this. I 100% agree with John Harbaugh in that situation.
Yeah.
You had the Chiefs defense running ragged. They were tired. They were having to sub in. These guys are going down left and right, number 1. Number 2, you're at Arrowhead, which is just absolutely deafening. And number 3, you don't beat Patrick Mahomes in overtime. So take your shot. If you lose, hey, you know what? We went for it. That's you go to the post game media. That's the type of attitude we're going to have this year. We're going for it. I wanted the guys to know I believed in them. Hey, we came up short now, but we've got 16 more games to correct that. We'll see these guys again, that type of thing. And if you get it, then of course everything's hunky-dory and you're the smartest guy. I actually normally would be like, are you an idiot? It's game 1. This could matter. Kick, you got the best kicker in the world.
Yeah.
But in this case, I see what John Harbaugh was doing by that.
Yeah. I mean, I really wish we would have seen what that would have looked like, what the play would have been, how it would have, then that gets that other narrative. Lamar would have had to have made that play too in some way, shape, or form. But I mean, it gives us a great opener. It sets up week 1 beautifully. And again, we talk about it just about every week. The NFL is incredible theater. When you have, one game on its own, it doesn't always live up to it. Last night was good though. That was a really good game. And when you get a weekend slate, there's usually a couple things that we come back on Monday and just go, man, what was that? That was incredible theater.
I'm so ready for Red Zone, dude. I'm so
Where's
ready.
the Octobox?
Oh, the Octobox, Scott Hansen. By the way, speaking of one of the things that really sucked about Sunday Ticket moving, and we both love Scott Hansen, but also love Andrew Siciliano, who did it for years on DirecTV Sunday Ticket, and he has found a home. The Cleveland Browns announced yesterday that he's going in there. He's going to be doing their full-time play-by-play again this year. He seems like a wonderful dude. By all accounts, you and I both know people that have dealt with him, and I thought he did a phenomenal job as well. So it's good to see him. You knew he'd land on his feet.
Yeah, I never saw him do it. I've always seen Scott Hansen, who's incredible, but I've heard great things about Siciliano doing it as well.
They're not exactly the same, but they're incredibly similar. If you didn't know better and you were listening to an audio version, they actually even sound a little bit the same. Siciliano's the one with the big ears. That's how you kind of know.
I would say Hansen is maybe a little more fun than Siciliano.
I think you're exactly right. I think they have a little bit more fun with the whole witching hour thing and this and that. Whereas Siciliano's more like, boom, 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 boom. Not serious, not dead serious, but I do prefer, if I had to pick one, I do prefer Hansen's Red Zone, but I really enjoyed them both, and I was sad to see Siciliano get tossed. Also want to recognize in our chat before we go to break here, Marcus, who is, I believe, still currently deployed. I know he was last, a couple weeks ago when he popped up, and he pops up whenever he can. This Jason Ross Love Fest is going a little too far, though.
It's
I'm
too
sorry.
far. First you, Dave, now everyone else.
You know what? I told you there was an industry article yesterday. In fact, Chris sent it to me.
When's the live reading? I can read to the audience if you'd like.
Jason,
or Chris, maybe Chris should read it. I think Chris, as the live reader of the article, would be beautiful.
Actually, let me read all the moments I was brought up in it.
Okay, go ahead, Chris. Wait. You want music or?
No, I don't need music.
Okay, go ahead. Be serious with this, though.
Okay. The end.
Okay, so the thing is you were brought up. This is a longer standing. Now look, I didn't go into this like bio of you, but I did mention it. Didn't. Here's the other thing: the stuff that I said about Jason that they put in there, I never said that.
Liar.
I said the opposite. They asked about Jason Ross and working.
That's like horseradish.
And then Marcus comes in here. And he says, how he met you in person and how nice you are and all that, and whatever. And then he said he met you in person. He said he told you to always do a good job because there's probably someone in the world, I think is what he meant to say, deployed away from home, and your show might be the only little piece of home they will hear today. So always do a great job because somebody out there might be listening. And I would say to Marcus, honestly, don't tell us what to do. That's a little
How about put the pressure a little bit lower on us?
Yeah.
Thank you. Like, I don't go around being like, oh, do your thing. Da-da-da-da. Here's how you soldier. We don't do that. It would let you do your thing. Just put all the pressure on us. This is why MC and everybody in there says Jason. That right there, Jason's reaction to what Marcus said and my reaction, that's why Jason gets all the Jason's an epic human. Jason's the MVP. J. Ross Appreciation Friday. What about you and me, Chris?
We're nobodies.
Nobody likes us. Whatever.
What did you say about Chris?
Seriously, what I said about Chris is he was talking to Dimitri, who Ravenous, who did a great job on the interview. He was talking about the show, and we were getting into the whole. He said the show comes off as kind of fun and irreverent at times and all over the place, but what is it like behind the scenes? And I said our show is actually the most technical one on the station. We try to kind of make it sound, and it does sound at times like it goes off the rails, but we have a ton of elements, a ton of what's called benchmarks. That's your 3 for madness and all that stuff, everybody. And there's a lot of prep that goes into it. And the part about Chris, I said, look, Chris is, what did I say? Chris is a guy. Imagine a merry-go-round going 75 miles an hour in a playground, and you have to step on and you have to step off without getting hit and thrown into the dirt. I said, Chris is very good at stepping in and stepping off without stopping the merry-go-round. Now, I said, at times.
Wow, that was a really good analogy.
Thank you. I said, at times, Chris will just throw an entire spear into the merry-go-round and we all fly off, but he means to do that. And then I went in to talk about, I mentioned the sound clips, all the things that he'll turn around, the library he has. I say he's horrible at booking guests. We've just kind of given up on that part. I said, but everything else he is. So yeah, I did, but they had to truncate the whole thing. So anyways, I said some cool stuff about you, Chris. Or I made
Bing bong.
But no, it was mostly about Jason.
I like that. I like this.
Usually when stuff like that happens, we get a text from our bosses. Hey, notice this. Nothing.
There's usually like an email like, hey, everyone, this person's been mentioned. Check it out.
Yeah, take a read.
Let me tell you something right now, and this is no disrespect to our dear friends over at KNCI. If Pat, Tom, or Cody had this profile, there would have been a huge email by our VP of programming. There would have been a nice paragraph from our market manager. Everybody would have replied all about how great they are and how lucky the station is to have them. Not one peep, guys. Not one peep.
I'm somewhat management.
I was going to say,
just email that right now.
Yeah, aren't you kind of the KHDK equivalent of the other guy?
No.
You should do that, and then also like an asterisk. Oh, and the vending machine is broken, and there'll be more comments on the vending machine or something like that.
Dude,
I should put vending machine broken. Just kidding.
Yeah. Check this out.
I know we have to break, but honestly, the problem is, guys, you're exactly right. You can't send out an email about a national major radio profile going on, right? But what you can do is you can talk about the following, and then we'll go to break. This is a real email that came out. And by the way, the person that sent this email is basically the Jason Ross equivalent of she is the sweetest, nicest. She's our office manager, basically, and we all adore her. So this isn't about her. This is just about the subject matter. Hi, all.
Hi. Hey there.
The coffee filters that were delivered were too small, which led to coffee grinds in your coffee. More have been ordered and should be here tomorrow. In the meantime, you can strategically place 3 of them in place of them. Sorry for the inconvenience. Have a blessed day. It's a great email.
It's creative, maybe wasteful, but creative.
Not the email. You're talking about the coffee filter.
Exactly.
And she did her job. Can we get somebody? I should write the email, guys. I should write the email to everybody, but in the voice of our 2 big bosses. We'll take a break. All right, we're winding now. And by we, I mean me. When we come back, that's why Jason's the best human, and Chris, you and I are we're just not good. When we come back, the defending champs start 1-0 by a toe. That's not my headline. Somebody did a great job on that. There is a game tonight in Brazil. You will not be hearing about it on Twitter necessarily, but it will be happening on the Peacock, I believe. And the A's lose. The Giants walk it off. We will FCC mandated have a conversation about that. We'll lead everything off, and we'll be back in just 1 minute.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. make the call now.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Get your tickets for the Marysville Stampede September 14th and 15th at MarysvilleStampede.com.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Stories in the morning.
Huge news.
Huge news. Huge.
And we see it. And the toe, no, he's out of bounds. That's by a toenail.
And the clock expired as well.
This would end the game if they ruled this an incompletion.
The runner's toe hit out of bounds. It's an incomplete pass. The game is over.
Sean Hockley, I've never loved you more, brother. Incomplete, and Kansas City wins this game by a toenail. And Kansas City wins it 27-20.
You think Kevin Durant was watching that at home going, I feel you.
Imagine being on the line.
Imagine being on the line. The big headline on the ESPN about this is the Ravens are at odds with the officials after the overturned touchdown. And you have Lamar Jackson saying, quote, I thought it was a touchdown. I still think it's a touchdown. Guys, when I say I was rooting for the Ravens, I don't have a dog in the fight, but I'd like the Chiefs to not win because I'm tired of it. And I was also rooting, obviously, for a 2-point conversion or overtime.
Mm-hmm.
But as much as I'd like to create a narrative, it was the right call, right? It sucks, but it was the right call.
Absolutely. As it's going, live, you see it real fast. They rule touchdown. You're like, oh my gosh. And then I see, Harbaugh going for 2. You're like, wow, what's going on here? And then I think it was either Tariq or Collinsworth that kind of said, oh, wait a minute. And then I thought, well, wait, what do they see? And then they show the one angle. I'm like, no, I don't think he could overturn that. And then there's like the third angle. You're like, oh yeah, he's out. It's not by a lot, but he's out. I think they got it right. That's why you have replay. And if they didn't have replay, that's a touchdown. And we would have never known how that would have ended. But with replay, it's over and Chiefs win.
And really, we don't talk about, we talk about missed calls. We talk about, oh, they didn't have the angle. It's always easier to talk about the bad stuff. I will say this. I think we should also at least mention how great it is between NBC and everybody else that they have the technology in place so that we could have multiple phenomenal angles. The only thing I was actually wondering, Jason, because you could see there's you say the toe, it's the toenail, and it's not even the toenail, it's a little rubbery thing, on the outside of the cleat was on the line, as close as it could be. And the only thing I found myself wondering looking at the replay was, God, was there a chance maybe his heel or the ball of his foot hit the ground and then the toe hit or something? But I think it was the right call. And like we said, you got to be fair. It's not an issue if Lamar Jackson hits his wide open receiver the play before. So we'll talk a lot about this. It was a great game by 2 great teams. And it's also a lot of money won and lost on that.
Yeah. That's the, look, we do talk about point spreads and gambling and all that, but that's the kind of thing where if you did have a wager, I don't even know what the points, but just that could just, oh my gosh, the emotions you would have gone through there had you bet on, I guess, on the Ravens. They were probably underdog by a couple of points, right?
I think it was 3. I think it was Ravens plus 3.
So actually, if that was the case, and for that about 4 seconds when you think it's a touchdown, and you see Coach Harbaugh going for 2, I'm celebrating, because you go, look, we're not going to overtime.
That's
Either
right.
They win by 1 or lose by 1, and that's fine because you win your bet. But man, and then it's ruled out, and you completely lose your bet.
You're 100% right. Imagine the people that had taken the Ravens, and there were a lot. In fact, there was a guy, the guy who owns, I saw this, the guy who owns Barstool, Dave Portnoy. He bet $300,000 on the Ravens. Yeah.
What?
He posted the ticket.
What are we doing?
He bet $300,000 on the Ravens to win $390, or a total of $690. He would have come back. So imagine that you got you have 390,000 in winnings on the line. Imagine the moment in his house or wherever he was between the catch and then you see Harbaugh going for 2 and he's going, dude, I just won my bet. I don't even care what happens at this point. Like you just said, to go from that to the replay, there's got to be a smash TV or two.
I mean, try to imagine, Dave, you bet $300,000 on any game. I know I would be way too invested, and I know the answer is, of course, I'm watching, but I think for my mental health, I couldn't watch the game.
I'm going to be really honest. Back when I did bet on sports regularly, because, of course, I don't do it right now.
$300,000 a pop.
So my rule was always I would start out each season with I think I put $200 or $250 into the little account, and I'd, whatever. If I had winnings, great, but once it was gone, it was gone. It was cool.
Okay.
I went on a heater. It was NBA. Yeah, I went on an absolute heater. Okay. And this was James Harden's Rockets. They were playing the Kings, and this was a stretch where the Kings were actually really playing them tight in every game, and it was a ridiculous line. I bet $1,000, Jason,
Whoa.
because I had built that bankroll up to like $2,000 or $3,000, which is
I already
huge.
don't like this story.
Okay, so no, here's the twist. I won the bet. I won the bet I placed. And I vowed I would never, ever bet anything over $100. And $100 is pushing it. Usually my bets would be like $20. I had the worst time. Even though that money was all profit, I wasn't betting a mortgage. I wasn't betting my kids' college money. This was all profit from the season that I had earned. I still couldn't enjoy the game. I was way too stressed out. There were times when the Kings were down a few and I'm like, Jesus hates me. Like, I'm just going through it, man. And then finally I went, this is not worth it, because I didn't have a good time and I won. If I lost, I would be devastated. That I don't know how these people can. I don't even care if they're rich, dude. Like $300,000 to Dave Portnoy, whatever. It's still $300,000.
Absolutely.
I don't know how they do it, but it ain't fun, man.
Oof.
Oh,
What?
man, I'm out of cash.
Cut number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
First off, I'm excited to be here. It's an awesome experience, once in a lifetime experience, playing first ever NFL game here in Brazil. So that's awesome. It's been nothing but love since we got here. Fans were at the airport last night. They're at the hotel. So definitely a lot of love, and I'm excited to see what the atmosphere is like in the stadium tomorrow for the game. I know it's going to be rocking. So I'm very excited. I'm glad to hear that the Brazilians are all ready to be Packer fans now, so we're converting everybody, but I'm excited. It's nothing but love since we've been here.
Love hurts. I love that. It's the matchup tonight, 5:15. I don't even know what Brazil time is. It can't be that far off of ours, can it? Because it's like south of us, but I think it's southeast. I want to say they're on Eastern time, or maybe 4 hours ahead of us. I don't think it's.
I think it might be 4.
It's not.
4.
It's nothing like, it's not England. We'll see the matchup tonight. Eagles favored by 2.5. I don't know why Brazil would root for one team or the other, but am I being too simplistic to think that the Packers are green and yellow, which is basically Brazilians' national colors? So I feel like the Packers are going to get, I mean, the Eagles are green too, but no yellow.
They're green and silver, which is actually the city flag of Sao Paulo.
Hey, watch this. Hey. Actually, the green and silver.
And I made that up.
How did you actually had me? I was like AB saying to the girl yesterday. Look, Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts. This is great, Jason. We got Thursday football, Friday football, Saturday college football, Sunday all the football except for the one football which we get on Monday, and that's the football.
I mean, what are we gonna do Tuesday though?
Just hate things. Just hate life. I don't even want Tuesday.
I know. Let's put it. We need a game every night. Come on, NFL.
Yeah, come on, NFL. Screw these guys. Just have a game every night. We'll take a break. When we come back, Jason Ross has the audio on last night. He will take us through the highlights, lowlights, side lights, whatever lights from last night's Ravens Chiefs season opener. We'll be back right after this.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Hey, listen up. This is your Sacktown Sports and live events calendar. First on the lineup is the Lodi Grape Festival coming September 12th through the 15th. And then rock out to Zeppelin USA at Thunder Valley on September 19th. On September 20th, laugh your heart out with comedy superstar Nikki Glazer at Thunder Valley. And the laughs keep on coming on September 21st with George Lopez when he takes the stage at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. If you're a country fan, you won't want to miss Winona Judd at Hard Rock Live on September 28th. And then on October 4th, comedy legend Rob Schneider is bringing the laughs to Hard Rock Live Sacramento. On October 20th, you don't want to miss Renee Vaca as he brings his hilarious stand-up to the Crest Theater. And finally, gear up for the ultimate Halloween bash with a $5,000 costume contest. It's Sinners and Saints Saturday at Thunder Valley on Saturday, October 26th. Costumes, music, and plenty of thrills. And that's your Sacktown Sports live events calendar. For details, go to sacktownsports.com. And stay locked on to Sacktown Sports for your chance to win tickets.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, home runs have been a big story for the A's as they hit 16 on the recent road trip, and they picked it up back at home on Labor Day with 2 by Shea Langoliers, including a walk-off, giving him 25 for the year, including 24 while catching. In the long history of the A's franchise, only Terry Steinbach hit more while behind the plate. He hit 34 back in 96.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? Now through September 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for just $15 a month, add the new Stream Saver. That includes Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $35 a month. Switch at Xfinity.com today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Equipment taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity internet or TV and price subject to change.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Want to keep your gas-powered engines running like new? Stable's proprietary formulas are proven by third-party testing to outperform the competition in keeping fuel fresh, preventing corrosion, and cleaning the entire fuel system. With Stable, you can have confidence you are doing the right thing for your engine's long-term health. Just pour into your gas can or fuel tank, then top off with fresh fuel. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable. Available where fuel additives are sold.
As a roofer, I'm always on the go. So I need to be able to get things done from anywhere. That's why I partnered with Beacon. With their unique Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through September 15th, purchase GAF through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Go to BECN.com or download the Beacon Pro Plus app today. Beacon, always building.
Get your tickets for the Marysville Stampede September 14th and 15th at MarysvilleStampede.com.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
on Sacktown Sports.
Mute you something.
Good morning. Hi.
Good morning.
How are you doing? Welcome in. Thank you, Chris. I was talking to, and then the thing happened. Hey, MC needs an hour. Give him one, would you please? It's Football Friday, man. Not dealing with this today. Jesus. It's got to be exhausting being that guy. Seriously. Also, we almost had a should I say a two-person show, Jason? Seriously, like the break was dramatic, and I'll tell you why. I'm doing the show up the mountain in the garage with in front of me where you can't see is the garage door. Okay. So it's a nice morning. I have the garage door open. I went inside to refill my coffee. Okay. I open the door. I come back and something flies right by my face. I back up real quick. Like, what the hell? It's flying all over the place in here because there's a high ceiling. There's a bat. No, it was a bat.
Yes.
There's a bat in here. So I got to like peek in, just hoping it'll go out the garage door, which it did after like 2 minutes of like just tweaking around the garage. Like it didn't sit, it didn't chill. It just and I found myself while it was batting going, what do I do here? Because I'm not coming back down if there's a bat flying around above me.
Why was that not on video?
As I had the camera. Well, you wouldn't have seen it anyways because it was up there. But
no, to see you would have been worth it.
Let me see if I can. Interest. All right, so I'm turning the camera around here. So there's my garage door right in front of me. Okay.
Whoa.
And
oh
yeah, exactly.
Nice setup.
Oh, thank you. And dude, it was. I'm still a little shaken, Jason. Normally this would be where I'd get a hug, but I guess I'll settle for some football highlights.
I'm giving you the virtual.
Oh, you're the greatest human, Jason.
Wait, did you know that you actually had like audio recording of you seeing that bat?
Oh, Chris, did you get it?
I got it.
Oh, how does it sound?
That's about right. that's there was a bat in the attic. All right. Anyways, as I calm down here from almost needing to get rabies shots. Did you know if you get rabies, I think and you didn't get the shots, you're like pretty much 100% going to die.
Once you get the symptoms, it's more likely you're going to die.
Yeah, not more likely, dude. It was like 99% fatality rates.
Yeah, you're going to die. You're just more likely to.
So and then the shots they're probably not fun. Like what, 8 shots in the gut?
Ironically, fun.
Oh, you've been there before.
Sure.
You and Ginobili?
Yeah, I was there. I called that game. That was me. I was the one that helped him.
You called several bad games, correct?
I did. I was at 3 games in San Antonio, and there was a bat in all 3.
Well, there was a bat of excitement last night in Kansas City. I have no idea. Jason, take the Jason, take the wheel and run us through, if you would, the highlights from last night.
All right. Well, it started with the opening drive of the NFL season, and the Baltimore Ravens. I think they're going to like their new addition.
Give it to Henry. Right side, powers his way in. Touchdown, Ravens! Derrick Henry, touchdown number 1 as a Raven. Touchdown number 1 of the 24 season.
Henry has hurt the Chiefs in the past as a member of the Titans. Now he'll be a nice addition, I think, for Baltimore. And they got off to a good start. Dave, speaking, though, of new additions, the Chiefs have so many weapons. They always have. But last year, maybe they kind of scratched and clawed their way. But they added some guys, including the fastest guy ever at the Combine. This guy's going to be great for them.
And now the Chiefs will bring it on an end around to Xavier Worthy at the 20, 15 of the Ravens, 10, 5, touchdown! Kansas City rookie Xavier Worthy on a perfectly executed, well-blocked end around.
He can fly.
Dude, by the way, I have audio of the sound of him scoring and running past everybody. It was something like this. Meow. That's what everybody heard. That dude, he makes John Ross of the Bengals look slow, or formerly of the Bengals. Remember, he was the big fast guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude just flew.
he would even win the race at the family reunion. John Ross.
It took me like 3 seconds. I got it. It's that's why you're the best human, Jason.
All right, let's go on. The Chiefs kept scoring and getting a little distance here as they get back in the end zone.
Pacheco gets a block, follows that blocker near the goal line, hit by Harrison. It's a touchdown. Pacheco grinding, carving, and getting his way into the end zone for 6. Kansas City with their second rushing touchdown tonight to take a 19-10 lead early in the third quarter.
Hey, Kevin Harlan on Westwood One.
Kevin Harlan, the voice of Westwood One. He does well. He's a good guy.
Yes, he is.
Used to call the Kansas City Kings games. Did you know that?
I did. Minnesota Timberwolves as well.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So Kansas City, look, I thought this game was over, not over, but it sure seemed like KC was kind of trending towards winning this one by double digits at one point.
Yeah, it was looking like it, but then maybe not likely.
See if Chief coordinator Steve Spagnuolo brings it. He does it. Lamar to throw. Pocket collapsing. He's chased, running to the right, running out of room. Lobs it near sideline. Isaiah Likely has it at the 30. Sidesteps the tackler. He's to the 20. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Ravens. Isaiah Likely with the okey-doke dip at the 5. Sidesteps the tackler. And Lamar Jackson extends the play. And the Ravens are right back in the game.
Dave, have you ever okey-doke dipped?
It's actually something I made last night to go with the rest of my food. It was really good. It's phenomenal. It's got some pulled pork and just different. It's a hot dip. The okey doke dip and chips are fantastic. From the text line 916-339-1140. Are you guys aware the contract with Disney and DirecTV has expired? So there's no ESPN, therefore no Manning cast available to DirecTV viewers for Monday Night Football right now. First off, why do you still have DirecTV? Secondly, if you're in a contract or something, or you have to have it, I would say this is often a lot like Trent Williams holding out. Like they both have leverage until the start of football, and odds are it'll get worked out by Monday. If not, YouTube TV. That's an unpaid promotion there, but pretty simple. All right, so the game down the stretch we come, Jason Ross.
Yeah, down the stretch, Kansas City would extend the lead back to 10. More Xavier Worthy.
Now sprints in motion to the right flat. Mahomes will throw it right sideline, wide open with the catch. Xavier Worthy, 10-5, touchdown, Kansas City. Xavier Worthy, the second time in the end zone in the first game of his career. A 35-yard strike by Mahomes to the Chiefs' first-round draft pick.
So he ran one in, caught one, lead is 10, feels like it's over. Ravens get a field goal, need a stop, get the stop, and then go right down to the closing seconds of the game.
And we see it, and the toe, no, he's out of bounds. That's by a toenail.
And the clock expired as well.
This would end the game if they ruled this an incompletion.
The runner's toe hit out of bounds. It's an incomplete pass. The game is over.
Sean Hockley, I've never loved you more, brother. Incomplete, and Kansas City wins this game by a toenail. And Kansas City wins it 27-20.
The guys upstairs saw it, and so they knew he was out. We were just kind of waiting after that, but we battled so hard down the stretch, for it to come down to that was something.
There you go. Andy Reid, Chiefs victorious, Dave. 1-0, and the Ravens have to start from behind this year at 0 wins, 1 loss.
I remember watching the first shot we got at the replay and wondering to myself if they would uphold the call or if there wasn't enough evidence. And I immediately saw that replay and said, you know what? It's not likely. I feel like that's just, because
it's okay.
It was fine. All right, we'll take a break. By the way, a lot of commentators before that game were proven right when they said X was going to give it to him, and he did twice last night. Meow. See, I said that in the article, and it was taken out. We'll take a break. when we come back, safe or out, our federally mandated baseball segment. I only put 2 questions in there because whatever, I don't care. But one's Logan Webb and one has to do with your Yankees, Jason Ross, as we try to do that as often as we can. I just don't have the energy. I don't think you do either on Football Friday for three baseball questions. No. What I do have the energy for, though, is American Energy Heating and Air, who are your second opinion partners. I know I keep driving it into the ground, but there's a reason for that every single day. Every single day, I need to let you know that American Energy Heating and Air, in business since 1981, A+ with the Better Business Bureau, is your second opinion partner. If you have made the mistake of trying to go to some other HVAC place, don't do that. Not only are these guys the best quality-wise, again, A+, go read Google, go read Yelp, you'll see. But they're also going to give you the best deal. This is a win-win situation for you. If you have or are thinking about getting a new HVAC system or a repair, get the bid. Get the bid from the other place, put it in your back pocket, and have American Energy come out for free, do their own. They'll beat it. You save money, and it's great quality. 916-520-9990. It's 916-520-9990. AmericanEnergyAir.com. Hey, American Energy. Making the uncomfortable comfortable. We'll take a break when we come back. Safe or out, then back to football. Yes.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
Going deep down the sideline for our you. He's got it, and he's gone. 10, 5, touchdown! San Francisco! Ayuk is on fire!
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
You guys got a new Honda? Well, it was like this. My mom was driving me to school when, bam, our car started smoking. My mom wasn't happy, so she called my dad and said, honey, if you value your life and our marriage, you will take care of this now. So my dad calls up Stockton Honda and was like, can you get me approved for a new car and save my marriage? And they're all, sure, Mr. Jones, we do this every day. And just like that, Stockton Honda to the rescue. StocktonHonda.com.
High voltage live boxing action returns to Northern California Saturday, September 21st at the venue at Thunder Valley with Thunder Showdown featuring the undefeated 12th ranked welterweight in the world, Amari Jones, plus Alan Sanchez versus Sal Briseno, and 8 more exciting undercard fights with Maribel Guerrero, Blake McKernan, Gabriel Garcia, Anthony Hernandez, Ruben Torres, Alexander Espinoza, and more. Don't miss the Thunder Showdown September 21st at Thunder Valley. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Play card subject to change.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Part 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Parmalee.
I want to close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich. Dasha. And more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Don't forget, let me run you through some of the scheduling today so you can have your programming right and take notes if you want. Dave Richards, CBS Sports, will join us in about 13 minutes. We're now on a regular schedule with him each and every Friday for fantasy football. So get your questions in on the YouTube chat. Get your questions in on the text line as well. Niners at 9. If only we had content there. Oh, wait, we do. Voice of the 49ers, Gregory Papa, will join us ahead of Monday's game. Good to see Marcus in the chat. Good to see our good friend there, as well as everybody else, by the way. It's just a special day when Marcus can make it in. And he's asking, why does anybody watch Monday Night Football? Hello. Niners opening night. We are the home of the Niners. Of course we're watching it. Come on. By the way, Jason, I had a dream.
What a dumb, stupid call.
I had a dream last night. I lost that Raiders bet.
Oh,
I did. Like, I was paying it off in my dream.
How'd that go?
I came in the Raiders jersey and had to do the whole thing, and then afterwards I felt the need to just quit my job, hole up in my house, and just drink endlessly. I don't know what that signifies, but it happened. We'll see if that dream comes true for the Burfs in the chat. Good morning to you guys as well. Safer out. Question 1, please.
Logan Webb will almost certainly finish top 10 in the Cy Young race. Safer out. The Giants are wasting him.
Yeah, it's safe. And this is the second time I brought this up in Safer Out, Jason. Like, I obviously the love for Logan Webb is off the charts. Rockland kid, good guy, Kings fan. I want Logan Webb to play his entire career in San Francisco, but they have to, or get off the pot at this point with him. He deserves a lot more. He is easily a top 10, if not top 5 pitcher in the game. He is right in his prime. And also from a non-emotional point of view, you have to decide, are you just going to add him as a piece and surround him? Or if you're going to do a true rebuild, there's nobody on the team they're getting a bigger haul for than Logan Webb. Do you trade him away and really legitimately do the rebuild? My problem, though, with that, Jason, is that if they're going to trade Logan Webb, please, God, don't let it be Farhan Zaidi that does it, because who's ever in that position, right, they need to get the haul that they need to get, and it should be a haul for Logan Webb. I just hate he's getting wasted here.
I think the answer is safe. You're right. I think that these are all the right thoughts. It's right now the answer is they are wasting him. It doesn't mean that has to be the answer for his career, but what's the fix? Where's the turnaround? I feel like it almost has to be decided this offseason. Are you keeping Farhan? If you're not, or if so, what adjustments is he making this offseason? How aggressive are they going to be? They can't keep going at these 78 to 83 win seasons. They need to go one direction or the other. Again, they're not awful. They're not very good, and they're not very exciting. And you've got one of your best pitchers you've had. So don't waste him while he's still in his prime. But the short answer is, yeah, it's safe. They're wasting him right now.
And based on what you said about One Direction, I agree. Also, Story of My Life, a really good song by One Direction. I'm not going to lie.
That is a good song.
It's actually a really good song.
Dork. Aw.
Chris, do you even know that song?
No.
See?
Yes, you do.
He probably does.
Sing it for me.
Dave will.
Story of my life.
I didn't know that song.
Thank you.
It was because of the singing.
Dork. It was. I mean, me, Harry Styles, we
Same
get mistaken for each other all the time. Number 2, please.
The Orioles still have their half-game lead over the Yankees. Safer out. This is actually the only true pennant race.
What was the laugh for?
I think it's funny.
I'm going to hit my drop. Dork.
Jason, I was thinking about this today. And I was like, let's check in on the pennant races and let's try to update them and talk about them a bit. But okay, so the Yankees are a half game back of the Orioles. Both, by the way, they've lost a combined 3. As a matter of fact, Jason, fun fact for the day: the AL East has lost a combined 12 in a row.
Losers.
They've all lost at least one game. The Red Sox have lost 5 in a row, the Yankees 2 in a row, and the Orioles lost it. So who wants this? On the other hand, I guess you could still technically call them pennant races, but the Twins are 4 back of the Guardians. The Mariners are 4.5 back of the Astros. The Phillies have an 8-game lead. The Brewers have a 9-game lead, and the Dodgers have a 5-game lead. Something's going to happen probably, and at least one of those will turn into a race. But right now, it just looks like Yankees-Orioles.
Go Yankees!
Oh, Yankee news, by the way. Your guy's coming out of retirement for the playoffs.
Is it official?
I read it, so it must be, I guess.
Oh, then yes.
Yeah. John Sterling coming back, and we're going to, assuming they win a game in the playoffs, which I think you could assume that, we're going to get the return of Yankees win. Yankees win. Yankees win.
You and Harry Styles, you and John Sterling.
I'm basically Frank Caliendo at this point.
Yeah, true.
Oh, and by the way, speaking of Frank Caliendo, who will be a friend of the show this year, we're going to pick and choose our moments. But we talked a couple weeks ago, and he's happy to come on and visit from Phoenix, which I love.
You love Phoenix.
I love Phoenix.
And it's 100-degree weather for 1,000 days in a row.
Yeah, it's we should ask him about Phoenix, Jason.
Yeah, we'll see what he says about it. See if he has the same opinion as you do.
I like it when Frank comes on and we can ask him real questions because, every show he goes on, it's always like, dance, Frank, dance, do the thing, Morgan Freeman, which we'll do. But I like being able to ask him actual questions where he's Frank because it's kind of funny to hear Frank is Frank.
I want to go, who is Frank Caliendo?
Who is he really? But why is it that, to me, Chris Collinsworth sounds more like John Madden the older he gets?
Really?
Even his mannerisms, like there every game, the over-under on 3.5, or here's a guy, and he doesn't do all the booms and stuff. But next time you hear Chris Collinsworth, just the audio with Tirico, it's the whole Yanni Laurel thing. You got to be in the moment, but just listen. And I'm telling you, he sounds like the older he gets, the more he sounds like a knockoff Madden.
I hope that doesn't ruin my future broadcast viewing and listening.
104 degrees today, by the way, in Sacramento. Also, Chris, as we go to break, why is Chris Guerrero saying my mic sucks compared to Jason? Are we having a mic issue, or is that just Chris being high?
I think the latter.
Yeah, that's usually a safe.
I mean, there's going to be a change just because of where you are, but sounds good.
I got you. Maybe it was the bat. We'll take a break. When we come back, the Batman of fantasy football, Dave Richard, I don't know, will come in. I'm trying. It's Thursday. It's Friday. He's going to come in and answer your questions on fantasy football and our questions as well. If you have those, 916-339-1140 on the text line. You can also get it on the YouTube chat as well. Dave Richard, CBS Sports, coming up next.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Labor Day, our annual celebration of workers and their achievements, was first observed in New York, and the first Monday in September became a national holiday in 1894. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Each year we commemorate Labor Day with parades, picnics, and family gatherings. And right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings is celebrating with their exceptional whole store Labor Day sale. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, accents, or accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide Labor Day sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stanton, Omnia, England, Stickley, Flex Steel, and all the rest of the award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable Labor Day sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up! And call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Get your tickets for the Marysville Stampede September 14th and 15th at MarysvilleStampede.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sacktown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
All right, welcome back. Hour number 2 on a Friday. Don't forget, of course, Friday Fun and Games. Coming up at the end of the program, but man, we have a lot to talk about in the meantime. And we do have one game in the books. Now, some of you are in leagues where everything locks. Everything locks after game 1. But most of you, if you're in that league, get out. Because most of us can change players up to 5 minutes before the Monday Night Football game, if you will. So that means there are still questions for Dave Richards that are relevant and timely. And you can get those in on our text line at 916-339-1140 or 1-800-920-1140. And while we wait for Dave from the text line, having a Yankee fan in the studio is pretty much as bad as having a Dodger or Laker fan in the studio. Go anybody but the Yankees in the AL. Shots at the best human. Jason Ross.
Hey, Dave's ready, by the way, Dave.
Well, speaking of best humans, joining us right now, Florida's own, Miami's own, from CBS Sports, and we will, of course, let you know at the end of our interview where you can hear, see, touch, and feel Dave Richards, but he is ours for the next few minutes to answer your questions and talk fantasy football week 1. Good morning, Dave. It's Dave and Jason. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, but I have a question. Who is the best human being on earth?
Oh, I said in a national radio publication yesterday, it was Jason Ross that he's the best human.
Jason Ross is the best human being on earth. He's one of those people where if somebody comes up to you and they have an issue with Jason, you immediately know that it's that person with the issue, not Jason Ross. Nobody dislikes him because he's an incredible human being. I don't have a problem with Jason Ross. I think Jason's awesome.
What's funny about what you...
Hey, listen to you go goo goo gaga over Jason.
Look, you know this, man. In this,
I thought
business,
it was well said.
In this business, you gotta make your partners happy. Otherwise, there's issues behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And the other funny thing is that it's funny you said that, because that is almost verbatim what I said about Jason in that article yesterday. Wow, we're on the same page.
I read it from the article.
I know.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. See, we were doing well, and then
that.
By the way, I have the first question for you, and it's actually really good. Hey, Dave Richards. Let me just stop here. Dave's been on with us. We went over for 12 years, and I know he gets this all the time. I'm going to stick up for Dave, who is also a phenomenal human. He's not Keith's grandson. It's Richard, as in the first name. It's not Richards. Okay. It's not Denise. It's not Keith. It's not Jason. Do we have another Richards? What's Mount Richards more?
Little.
That's Little Richard.
Yeah.
Nah, Mount Richard.
I'm not related to any cool people.
No, it's Dave Richard. Anyways, but I love the question here, Dave Richard. Can you talk me off the ledge of not wanting to trade Mark Andrews for a free appetizer at Applebee's? I was convinced my man was just trying to close his move ring last night. That got me. What are your thoughts on Mark Richard owners? Or Mark, God dang
All
it,
I want
Mark
to tell
Andrews.
everybody that's panicking after week one is that, first of all, it's a terrible idea to panic for fantasy managers. You got to just take a deep breath. You know that players have bad weeks all the time. Nobody is good every single week. It's very, very rare. Those that are, they go with the first overall pick. But Andrews had a bad game. He was also double-teamed on that touchdown to Isaiah Likely. He was double-teamed on the would-be touchdown to Zay Flowers at the end of the game. And he was double-teamed on the would-be touchdown to Isaiah Likely at the very, very end of the game. So there's a reason why Mark Andrews wasn't heavily involved in the passing game, but he was on the field a lot. He played 53 snaps. He ran 38 routes. That's a lot of routes for him. He's going to have his day. And it wouldn't surprise me if the day is a week from Sunday when they take on the Raiders at home. So have some patience with Mark Andrews. And if you're streaming tight ends and you get the chance to give up a free appetizer for Mark Andrews, please do so. This is not going to be the norm where Mark Andrews gets bupkis. But I think we will see Isaiah Likely stick as a part of this Baltimore offense.
Dave, I know, and I agree with you, it's no time to panic, especially after one game of the first week. But was there anything in the game that changed an opinion of maybe a guy's prospects going forward? I know the Chiefs have so many weapons, but Worthy looked terrific last night. Would he move up on your list? Just after one night, anything of an opinion change from what you watched?
Worthy was already somebody that I was excited to draft, but I think he's still going to be in that number 3 receiver boom bust range, because I just, how often is he going to get 6 or 7 targets? I think once, especially when Marquise Brown comes back, we're talking about somebody who might really only see 4 or 5 targets and 1 or 2 carries a game. That's not enough. It's hard to trust guys like that. He would need to score a touchdown, and a long touchdown, every single week for him to return great value. So he's going to be good, but I don't know if he's going to get the opportunity to be great week in and week out. And Rashee Rice is one person that stood out to me. I could go in a bunch of different directions with this, Jason. You are a great human being.
Thank you.
But Rashee Rice looked faster. Certainly crushed it on inside breaking routes. I think defenses will catch up to that. The Ravens certainly did in the game, but I think he's somebody that's still going to get good target volume no matter who's on the field for the Kansas City Chiefs. And that might make people a little bit more nervous about Kelsey, especially since Brown will eventually come back, and he'll take a couple of targets every single week away from Travis Kelce. So I'd probably be a little bit more worried about Kelsey than I would be about Mark Andrews. I already told you that Isaiah Likely, I think he's going to stick. He might act as like the number 3 receiver in that offense. I think the Ravens will eventually get Zay Flowers catching passes further than half an inch down past the line of scrimmage. I mean, that was ridiculous. His ADOT was 5.4 yards, but so many of those plays were these screens. And I think that was a reaction to their offensive line. Let's keep an eye on that Ravens offensive line, because if they struggle, it's going to mean some bad things for the efficiency of not just Zay Flowers, but also of Derrick Henry. And I think people are a little bit nervous that Derrick Henry only played about half the snaps. I would look at that as a positive. He's 30 years old. You don't want him playing every single snap, but it's clear that he's going to be game script dependent once again. And in games where the Ravens are trailing, You might not get the best of Derrick Henry. I don't think that will be the case next week against Las Vegas, but we shall see.
Dave Richard, CBS Sports, joining us. Now, generally, I will sneak in a question from a random listener that's really my question that I'm just faking, but I'm going to be fully transparent. I've been waiting to talk to you all week, and this is about my team. It's just, I think others may be dealing with stuff like this. So in my auction league, $200 of fake money that you get to spend on your entire team, 18 rounds, 12 people in the league. I was at my son's soccer game in a part of the world that did not have reception. By the time I got reception, because the game went way long, I opened up the draft room, Dave, and I had spent, I think it was $60 on Justin Jefferson, $60 on CeeDee Lamb, and $40 on Josh Allen. I had 160 of my 200 spent on 3 players. Both receivers went for about an average of $5 higher than any other receiver picked in the entire league, just to give you an idea. And then I was so simultaneously pissed and I felt screwed. Obviously, those are 3 tremendous players. And looking at the potential matchup this week, I'm actually favored, weirdly enough. But, dude, I have Chandler starting in Minnesota. I have, in a league you're not required to start a tight end, I have Mark Andrews, Evan Ingram, and Kyle Pitts.
Ugh.
I have New Orleans' defense. So here's my question. I obviously have 3 A-list guys in Allen and Jefferson and Lamb. If you're me, do you hold on to those guys, possibly take it in the shorts early, and just go crazy on the waiver wire, hope you get lucky, and find yourself those guys this year? Or should I be really actively looking to trade 2, if not 3 of those guys to spread out the talent on my squad?
I would try and move those tight ends, especially if you've got somebody. Wait, did you say you have Andrews?
I have Andrews, Ingram, and Pitts.
Right. So you can't trade Pitts or Ingram to the guy that's got Andrews because you're the guy with Andrews. Eventually, people are going to get a little bit feisty for a tight end, and that's when you can move those tight ends. You're not going to get the value that you want because you don't have to start a tight end in this particular league. But the one thing that I do know about you is you pay attention to your fantasy leagues, which is, you'd think that would be something that everybody does, but a lot of people don't do that with their fantasy teams. They just kind of draft and maybe they pick up a player every couple of weeks, something like that. Maybe when they need to pick up a player, they go and do that. No, I know that you're going to be aggressive about picking up players. And when, not if, Dave, when you find those good running backs off the waiver wire or other positions that you need, you're already going to be stocked with a top 3 quarterback and 2 top 5 wide receivers. And that's when your team is going to light up the scoreboard, baby. Woo! Okay. And you're going to have some awesome numbers and you will cruise to the playoffs. Remember, everybody in your league is going to be either 1-3, 2-2, or 3-1 after the first 4 weeks. If you're 1-3 or even 0-4, you shouldn't care one bit because you can come back from that, especially as long as Lamb, Jefferson, Allen are contributing. That being said, if one of those guys go down, it's time to start planning for 2025 fantasy baseball.
I feel kind of better, Jason.
Oh, there you go. Good. Dave, how about some of your favorite plays for week 1, just kind of around the league? Which guys are you going, you have to play this week if you have them?
The more I talk about Chris Godwin, the more I like him against Washington. This is a Commanders defense that's got a great coach in Dan Quinn, but I don't know where their pass rush is going to come from. I don't know if their secondary is very good. And Chris Godwin is healthy. At the end of last season, he was healthy as well. Final 5 games, averaged 9 targets per game, had over 15 PPR points per game. He's going to play in the slot more. I'm looking at my rankings. I've got him 26. I think he should be closer to like 21. He's going to be a very good number 2 wide receiver. I like him. And in the same game, Terry McLaurin, who's going to be the number 1 receiver for Jaden Daniels. I think he could end up having a very, very good game at wide receiver. Tight end, Taysom Hill. Get used to it. He's going to be a top 12 tight end every week. Great matchup against Carolina. I would expect 4 or 5 catches, and you know that he's always capable of stealing a touchdown from our guy, Alvin Kamara. I was not a big fan of Aaron Jones or DeAndre Swift or even Raheem Mostert when we were drafting a week ago, 2 weeks ago. But they're healthy now. Their matchups are good. I'd be totally fine starting any of those 3 running backs in their respective matchups. I also feel good about Javonte Williams as a low-end RB2 against Seattle. And then just talking about a couple of quarterbacks, that Sunday night game between the Lions and the Rams, I think it's going to be high scoring. And the matchup between the Jaguars and the Dolphins, I think is going to be high scoring. Goff is actually my favorite quarterback of all four of those teams. I would rank them Goff, Stafford, Tagovailoa, and Trevor Lawrence. They are all top 15 fantasy quarterbacks for me. They are all worthy of being starters. And if you've got Brock Purdy, if you've got Aaron Rodgers, if you've got Caleb Williams, if you've got Justin Herbert, I would shift to one of those four quarterbacks if you can.
All right, we are almost out of time, but I want to clean up just two quick lightning round questions from the listeners. You might have just answered one, Javonte Williams or Jerome Ford in flex. The other one, based on matchups, Deontay Johnson or Amari Cooper.
I will go with Cooper over Johnson, and matchups are going to be tough there. And I'm not big on Jerome Ford, so I would go with Javonte Williams.
Well, I'm big on all the content you put out, and I know our listeners are as well. So in addition to Twitter, where it's at Dave Richard, where can people find you?
You ask me that every time, and I tell you every time, and you still don't know, Dave? Come on.
I'm not the best human, dude.
CBSSports.com. My rankings are there. All the content's there, and I'm writing more this year than I did last year. You can read about Chris Godwin, Terry McLaurin. Christian Kirk is an interesting start. Michael Pittman is someone I'm kind of getting away from this week. You can read on them there. And we just got done with our podcast where we went through all the NFC home games, the whole start and sit shebang. I didn't want to say that too fast. It could have come out bad.
Yeah.
But lots of content to help you set your lineups on YouTube. Search for Fantasy Football Today. Like and subscribe, and go ahead and beat your league. And if I may, Dave, I would like to count down from 5 to 1. 5, 4, 3, 1. Oh, and 2.
Well, that was cool. What I miss in the middle there?
Do you see what I did there?
You went 5, 4, 3. You skipped to 1. You missed 2.
And then I said, oh, and 2. Have a good weekend.
I'm going to just bash my head into it. Love you, Dave. Have a great weekend.
That was good.
That was, honestly,
he got me too.
My mouth was open on that one. I was expecting it. I was not expecting it. And you know, when you feel like everybody else got the joke, but you almost don't want to ask. That was a curveball, brother, but we'll survive. I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's take 1 minute to recover, and then let's come back with 3 for madness, if that's okay with you.
You need it. I need it too. That was good.
That was really good. It's Christopher Laud behind the glass. Carmichael Dave here, the best human Jason Ross out there. We'll take a break. We'll come back 3 for madness next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
Hey, this is Greg Papa. Are you working through a major insurance claim? SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, couple things here to clean up. Chris, I think we can free MC. I believe the time has expired. Number 1. Number 2. If you use Twitter at all, there's a part of Twitter I actually am pretty cool with. It's called community notes. where somebody will say something, and then if other Twitter users, enough of them get together and cite sources and stuff like that, you can say, nope, this isn't true. This might be the most violating community note I've ever seen in my life. The Baltimore Ravens official accounts on the pass to end the game have the highlight, and they put it out as touchdown. OMG, tune in right now on NBC, and right underneath it, the community note, the official community note. No, it wasn't. That's just the Ravens took 2 L's last night, dude. They got community noted on their highlight. And, hate to see it, love to see it. Jason Ross, that's unfortunate for the Ravens, fortunate for the Chiefs, who've gotten a lot of fortune. Just seems like it just seems like with those championship teams, right? Everything just goes, it just happens to, the luck tends to go their way all the time.
Yeah, they find a way, don't they?
Love will find a way, and they did. 3 for Madness, question 1.
Other than your favorite team, what game are you looking forward to the most?
That's a good question. Because obviously, and that's whatever your team is too, listening. I'm a Niner fan. Obviously, I'm looking forward to Monday night the most. But when you go through the schedule, I mean, there's a lot of poop. I'm not going to lie. It's week 1, so that's where you should put it. But Steelers, Falcons, Cardinals, Bills. Interested in the Titans, Bears just because of Caleb Williams. Patriots, Bengals. Texans Colts will be a good one. It doesn't, take the wrinkles out of the shorts, but Texans Colts is going to be a fine game. Jags Dolphins for the Battle of Florida. Panthers Saints. Vikings Giants. Broncos Seahawks. Commanders Bucks. Jason, I've narrowed it down to the following: Rams versus Lions, Cowboys and Browns. But I'm going to say that which I should not say. I find myself weirdly and inexplicably looking to the Raiders and Chargers.
I knew it. I knew you were going to go there.
I am. And you might think, well, it's because you have all these bets. I am from a straight football perspective. I do not think the Raiders are going to be good this year, but I do love the whole new sheriff in town comes in. Look what he did last year. There's talent on the Raiders. I think the Chargers will win this game. I know that's not what happened last time they played, but that could factor in. I am really curious as to, are the Raiders going to suck like I think they will, or is there something brewing? There's Gardner Minshew. Here's the storyline if you want it. Gardner Minshew becomes like the Ryan Fitzpatrick of a few years ago, where he was doing press conferences like Conor McGregor, because he was I think he was with Tampa Bay at the time and was winning and had some really good early wins. Devontae Adams, they're finding him. The 2 tight ends, including the one they just drafted, are going crazy. Zamir White is a revelation, which there's reason to think he might be based on his limited starts. Max Crosby's all over the field, and that defense is coming together behind him, and they put together there is the potential for a really good Raiders storyline. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to happen. Weirdly enough, you don't believe me. I would like it to happen. So I am curious how these guys are going to come out of the box.
And you combine that. I mean, I think Jim Harbaugh is just interesting. He's quirky. He's different. It's his debut back in the NFL. So that'll be an interesting element to that. You did bring up the Cowboys, Browns, and Dave Richard brought it. I think the Sunday night game, the scoring, Stafford going back to Detroit.
Yeah.
Those 2 teams, I think, are 2 of the better teams in the NFC. Detroit was such a fun story last year. Now there's expectation. So I think that Sunday night game's gonna be fun.
God, I honestly didn't even think about the debut of Jim Harbaugh as another thing there too. You're absolutely right. That might be the game of the week, Jason Ross. Let's just call it right now.
Dave, the Raider fan.
Number 2.
Question 2.
Honest question. Does it seem like the Chiefs do, in fact, get quite the favorable whistle?
It does. And normally I kind of shy away from this stuff because it's like, dude, when you're good, it seems like you get the favorable whistle. But honestly, and we'll talk about it at 7:30, but the illegal formations, and I don't mind if they're trying to really hammer down on it, but gosh, it seems like the Ravens were getting called for stuff the Chiefs weren't. And You've got Steve Spagnuolo calling a timeout when he's not allowed to call a timeout. They're just like, don't do that again. And I don't know, man. There seem to be a few calls during the game where I can completely understand if you're a Ravens fan or you're just a fan that can't stand the Chiefs. I do kind of understand the whole Chiefs get the whistle, but isn't it kind of usually how that goes for really good teams, Jason? They just seem to get the whistle, like the Warriors, for example.
Yeah, I think we look at it from a different lens. Even if you're not totally directly rooting against them, but you're thinking, man, what other advantages do they need? They've got an all-world coach, all-world quarterback, and then are they getting the benefit of the doubt? I don't know, but there were a couple of those plays where they were just kept calling the lineman for the Ravens in an illegal form. Just tell them, hey, man, scoot up. Sometimes the line judges will tell the receiver that. Like it seemed like a weird call to call that many times. Now, we're not referring to the final play. I think they got that right. I mean, it looked like he was out of bounds, not by a lot, but he was. So, yeah, I think it can kind of have that appearance. Whether it's true or not, I guess, appearances sometimes can be reality, though.
You know what? Let me ask you about your answer, because you said something really interesting. Should the referees say that? And I'm torn. Should they help out and say move up, or should it be no you? I mean, I don't get it, because do you run into an issue where, well, you helped him, what did you help us? Or is that something maybe in game one it's almost like in little kid soccer where the refs are going to help a little bit? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if they should, but sometimes they do, and it might be a case by case basis. But it also just felt like, all right, is this a point of emphasis? I mean, maybe that's called once in a game, if ever, and it seemed like it was 3 or 4 times on the Ravens.
Yeah. All right, question 3, please.
Question 3.
Jessica Pegula, the daughter of the Bills and Sabres owner, is in the U.S. Open Finals. With the American presence this weekend, are you going to watch any of the finals on either side?
It's Pegula, and by the way, I had to look it up. So I'm with you, Chris.
No, it's Pegula.
Huh?
It's Pegula.
Okay. My bad. So that was interesting. She's the daughter of the Bills and Sabres owner. She's, I think, 30, 31, something like that. So an older, tennis player, if you will. And you've got Americans now in both finals. And Jason, I'm asking this because we talked about this earlier in the week. Does it help? And I'm saying, does it help for us as Americans in the U.S. Open? Obviously, probably somebody in Chile or, Europe is like, I don't care. But of course, that's how they should feel. I personally, it does make a difference. And I do, it does give me somebody to out and out root for, because I don't, there's no like a Djokovic or a Lendl or a Borg, or, they didn't need to be Americans for me to root for them. I just enjoyed rooting for them. Especially Boris Becker, by the way, back in his day. I used to love rooting for that dude at Wimbledon. Yeah. But I think having Americans in there does help a little bit. And in this case, you got one in each.
Yeah, and you're going to get one. We don't know yet which one in the mail, whether it's Tiafoe or Fritz. So that's going to happen. You've got on the women's side covered, and it's in New York. I think that's also, then like what the New York audience is going to be rooting for and who they're going to be rooting for. So I think it just adds element to what's generally an exciting tournament. Now to have Americans there, it hasn't been a sport that's had a ton of that lately, with the exception maybe of Serena over the years. But yeah, I think this is good. I think it's good for the sport, good for New York, good for, the attendance there. And just I think the people watching this weekend, I think there will be more interest. Yes, on that answer.
As we hit the break, monitoring the chat, I gotta step in front of Mike here on the chat. Zebra said that unless the weather app is lying, it starts cooling off after today. And yes, it does show that it at least kind of cools off after today. And by the way, Jason, cooling off, that means it'll be 99, 96, 99. And then we get into the high 80s, low 90s, your weather.
Balmy 98 degree.
Right.
September, autumn.
Spoiler alert, there's no difference between 99 and 100 other than it looks better because it's 2 digits. But then Mike says, I bet this is our last seasonal heat wave. Oh, Mike, are you new here? We're nowhere near the end, dude. We're nowhere near. It is early September, brother. Summer doesn't end until at the earliest the first week, if not the second week of October.
Wake me up when September ends.
Thank you. That's what the song was about by Green Day. It was about it's too hot and also training camp for the NBA. Well, actually, Chris, wasn't it like about something really serious, like war or something?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Oh,
never mind.
We'll take a break. When we come back, let's recap Ravens, Chiefs, and X gave it to him. Xavier Worthy and Lamar Jackson looking very, very determined despite the loss. We'll get into the nuts and bolts next.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
You ain't black to me unless you got a case of water on the floor at home. I walk around with my hands behind my back. Can I see your pantry, please? Or laundry room, they the same, I think.
You know him from ABC's Blackish and his latest Netflix special, Charlene's Boy, actor and comedian Dion Cole. My New Normal Tour, September 15th at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Dion Cole live.
What sets Ashton & Price apart from other injury law firms? I'll tell you. From beginning to end, all important legal decisions are made directly between our clients and their experienced local attorney. A gate agent flying the plane, the receptionist performing surgery, not a chance. There's simply no substitute for the unique power of the direct attorney-client relationship offered by Ashton & Price. And there's never a fee until we win, and between you and me, we win a lot.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
A new Honda? Nice. Well, it was like this. It was a super hot day, so we all stopped for some ice cream. When bam, the AC went out. My dad started sweating and was all, man, I stink. And my brother was like, I hate this car. And my mom was all, I'm dying in here. Then I said, it's time to call Stockton Honda. Then Dad was like, honey, you're right. I knew you were my favorite. And just like that, Stockton Honda to the rescue. StocktonHonda.com.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sacramento, Dierks Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Hard Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Parmalee.
I want to close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich. Dasha.
And
And more. Saturday, September 28th at Hard Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House. High voltage live boxing action returns to Northern California Saturday, September 21st at the venue at Thunder Valley with Thunder Showdown featuring the undefeated 12th ranked welterweight in the world, Amari Jones, plus Alan Sanchez versus Sal Viceno, and 8 more exciting undercard fights with Maribel Guerrero, Blake McKernan, Gabriel Garcia, Anthony Hernandez, Ruben Torres, Alexander Espinoza, and more. Don't miss the Thunder Showdown September 21st at Thunder Valley. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Play card subject to change.
Get your tickets for the Marysville Stampede September 14th and 15th at MarysvilleStampede.com.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
On Sacktown Sports.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, Dave.
Just for funsies, I have in my hand, according to the Wall Street Journal and College Pulse, the top 5 public universities
Good business
in the entire country. Would you like the list?
Yeah, I would.
That'd be funny if you said no. Number 5, University of California, Merced.
Oh.
Now, what does this mean by top?
Yeah, I don't know. It just says top 5. Number 4, San Jose State. Number 3, UC Davis. Number 2, Georgia Tech. Number 1, UC Berkeley. Now, it's funny, Chris, you asked that question because you kind of stole my thunder, because at the end I was like, look, no disrespect to any of those schools, but what is the criteria? I don't know anything about whether they should be top 5 or not, but, and by the way, no disrespect. Why do I feel like 5 is way too high for UC Merced?
That's disrespect.
I guess it is kind of disrespect, and I don't mean it to UC Merced, the anteaters, the flying.
That's like horseradish.
Oh, hey guys, do you know what you want? Well, no, you're never going to guess. The University of California, Merced, they're the Golden Bobcats.
I would not have gotten that.
Yeah, I would be, honestly, you know a lot, dude, of those.
That one I did not know for whatever reason. I never knew what they were called. So Golden Bobcats?
Okay. The Golden Bobcats of UC Merced. Why golden? Oh, because of the state. I got it. Big mascot. It's a bobcat.
Oh, and 2.
Huh. Do you think when the bobcat signs his taxes, it's a Robert cat? All right, there was football last night. The Golden Ravens and the Cheifs playing against each other. And Jason, a lot of things from this game. Let's talk about the penalties. A lot of penalties on those formations. This is something the refs said they were going to they were going to hammer down on, and gee golly gee, they certainly did.
Yeah, good. I mean, look, they want to correct that, I guess. Felt like a point of emphasis. It's such a high-profile game. So many people were watching. We don't really watch for that, but if it has an impact, I feel like that's to me always where I wanted officials to have their presence. You know, if there's a hold away from the play and everything was going the other way, you could argue maybe it has an impact, but maybe you let that one go. But these are formations. Some of those were just bizarre penalties, I thought too. And it's funny when you look at the numbers. Okay, the Ravens had 4 more first downs. The Ravens actually had 24 more plays, and a lot of that was dink and dunk. They had 99 more total yards. They had 14 less passing yards, but they had about 90 more rushing yards. Jason, they outgained them. They had the same amount of turnovers. They had more first downs. They had more time of possession by about 7 minutes. On paper, you feel like the Ravens probably should have won this game. And lastly, the Ravens had 7 penalties for 64 yards. The Chiefs had 6 penalties for 45 yards. So it's just one of those. The numbers do not tell the story completely on this game. Yeah, and when I watched the game, I want to see if you share the same thought that I did on this. As great, and I thought at times Lamar Jackson looked, as far as and they kept commenting how he dropped a few pounds. Never thought he was heavy, but he just looked super quick and was running the ball well. And they were making the point of it's really more of him calling the plays now, and he's kind of running the show. I thought I don't have a problem with him running. I thought he took way too many hits. I'm like, man, this is week 1, and he's lowering his shoulder. He's taking on hits. He didn't slide as much as I thought. And look, he made it through. That's great. I'm not rooting for anything else than that. But I personally thought he was running too much and taking too many hits. I couldn't agree with you more. And you mentioned lowering the shoulder. There was a play in particular where he was going out of bounds, and he lowered the shoulder, and the Chiefs defender, I forget who, just flew off. And it was a great hit, and he got, I think, an extra half yard. Dude, not worth it. Absolutely not worth it. I couldn't agree with you more. And if I'm John Harbaugh, first off, I make money more than I do now. Secondly, I say, hey, Lamar, you played 12 games in 2022. You played 12 games in 2021. You've been fairly healthy in your career. The rest of the years, he's played 15, 16 games each year. I get it. But you're also 27, and 27 is right in your prime. You're still young.
but we can't lose you. I don't mind Lamar Jackson running. He, as you mentioned, he slimmed down, and they said that too. And by slim down, I just think he worked more on speed than muscle in the offseason. It's not like the dude was carrying a boiler, and he did look quicker. And he does have a good instinct as to when to run and when to pass, and he's an incredible weapon. But you're right. You cannot continually take those types of hits. It's got to be risk reward. If you've got an opportunity to extend the play 5-10 yards or more, and you've got to miss one guy and you try a spin move or you try a stiff arm, okay, I understand that. If you're going out of bounds and you have two linebackers on you and you lower your shoulder to hit one of them, dude, that is an unnecessary risk. The reward is there is no way, no matter what he did, the play wasn't going to be extended more than a yard anyways. So it's like, here's my mathematics, Jason. Unless you can extend the play at least 5 more yards, no hits under any. Learn to slide, brother.
Yeah, right. I mean, and the difference would be, like you said, an extra few yards or like game deciding play, goal line, those kind of things. Other than that, yeah, you got to live to see another day. And yeah, looks like he's okay, but that's this week. And you do that for 17 weeks. It just, he's a 2-time MVP. He is way too important for that team to take that many hits.
As we pause, we'll continue our breakdown in the next segment. You can always text us at 916-339-1140 from the 916. I hate the Chiefs, but the Ravens blew it with those boneheaded penalties, especially the late hit on Mahomes that canceled out the Chiefs' hold late in the game, and that's absolutely correct. That was just a moronic. I understand the frustration because Mahomes does that thing where it looks like he's going out of bounds and then he doesn't. And we can all sit at home and say that, but they're going 300 miles an hour. You don't have time to think. But in that case, that was just a stupid late hit. He was clearly out of bounds. And then the texter adds as well, and Lamar missing the open guy in the end zone before likely stepped out of bounds. I agree. Look, they had no business. They would not have been anywhere close to being in this game without Lamar Jackson. That is a fact. And I think it's also a fact that Lamar Jackson's reputation of crunch time difficulties did not get helped at all last night by missing that wide open dude at the end. It's just something Patrick Mahomes doesn't do, and it's those tiny things that make the difference between wins, losses, championships, and AFC championship losses. We'll take a break. When we come back, Jason's got, I'm sure, a little bit more audio and reactions from last night's game. We'll get into that as we continue our breakdown. Don't forget, in just over an hour at 9 a.m., Greg Papa will join us, Niners at 9, and we'll preview the Monday game, maybe get his thoughts too on the Ravens and Chiefs from last night. And coming up at 8, we'll preview. Then we'll do a 2-part preview, starting with Packers and Eagles live from Brazil, week 1 of the NFL season. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday. You've almost made it. It is the NFL season. It is officially underway. You can all feel good, and we appreciate you tuning in right here on Sacktown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Hey, you never know when you may need someone to represent you on your behalf. And if you're ever in a situation where you want someone that you can trust and wants to work for you, well, I got a suggestion for you. How about contacting the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez? That's at SackLegalDefense.com. And I'm sure you've seen commercials on TV. There's lots of lawyer commercials on TV. A lot of those are big national brands and names, and you see a face on there. You're like, oh, I'm going to call that number and get to that person. Well, that's not really the way it works. They're not local. They're not here. How about someone that's in our community, works in Sacramento, offices downtown, and he's been one of us in the community for a long, long time. Doesn't rush through these cases. He knows the importance of what it means to you, to him, to this community. And so you want that connection. You want someone you know that you could trust, someone that will work with you. And so, again, someone in our community that cares about you and the result. I'm talking about Jonathan Gonzalez at the Gonzalez Law Offices. And whether you're dealing with an auto accident, maybe you have something from your record that you like removed, like an expungement. Maybe it's a wrongful termination case. These things happen a lot, and you want to be prepared for any of these situations. So if you're in that spot, I suggest you contact SackLegalDefense.com or call the law offices at Jonathan Gonzalez at 916-304-9187. That's 916-304-9187.
Experience a golf tournament as refined as you are. The Pro Court Championship at Silverado Resort, September 12th through the 15th. Be there as the best of Napa meets the best of the PGA Tour. With world-class wine experiences, breathtaking views, and incredible golf. It's like this weekend was made for you. The Pro Court Championship, September 12th through the 15th. For tickets, go to ProCourtChampionship.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Jason, did you see anything last night? Anything? And I'm giving you permission to reach here. That perhaps, well, let me phrase it like this. I'm looking for something that maybe you said, I don't know, maybe the Chiefs don't have it this year, or a vulnerability of any kind. Because I'm looking, and Rashee Rice looks like a stud, just not a flash in the pan. He looks like a stud. Isaiah Pacheco did what he needs to do, which is basically if Mahomes ain't running it, he can run it, and it's just another option. Xavier Worthy, I mean, look, it's one game. It's one game, and sometimes the game will feed you the opportunities. I don't think that's going to happen every game, but to be able to do what he did and look the way he looked, and the fact of the matter is the Chiefs beat the Ravens 27-20 and had a double-digit lead for much of the game, with Travis Kelce having just 3 catches, with Isaiah Pacheco rushing for 45 yards, with Patrick Mahomes having a really, by the numbers, a pretty pedestrian 20-28 for a touchdown and a pick. All of that happened, and the Chiefs won. So, Jason, I'll throw it back to you. Did you see any vulnerabilities? Anything you could nitpick at and go, they might be vulnerable this year?
I left that game with the Chiefs thinking, honestly, the opposite. I felt like last year there were times where it just felt like it was so much the Travis Kelce show, and they'd find some other guys. This was the first year, or was it the second year without Tyreek Hill? But they were kind of just working to find more weapons. And last night watching it, you go, man, Rice is starting to develop. Worthy, you were just talking about him and what he did in his 2 touchdowns. Yeah. Pacheco ran the ball well. They still have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's out right now. Even Juju Smith-Schuster's back on this team. Kelce, like you said, was quiet. P. Ryan, it just felt like they've got more weapons, more speed than they've had, at least since Tyreek Hill. And I'm with you. I thought Mahomes was fine, but we've seen him play better. I thought the defense was good. It just, I think they're better than last year, and the regular season might show it. Now, again, we get to the playoffs, and that's the difference. You can be a great team, and just the way the NFL works, you lose one game in the playoffs, and it ruins a great season. So I think they're still really complete. They're well coached. They've been in all the battles, and just it's like a lot of people say, if you have Mahomes, you have a chance. So they're going to be a problem. So will the Ravens, but I felt kind of impressed by the Chiefs, even if it wasn't an A+ game by them.
Funny thing is, they start at home versus the Ravens. They play again next week at home against the Bengals. Then they go on the road to play the Falcons, which is one of your picks to click perhaps this year. Then to LA to face the Chargers. They get the Saints at home, and then the 49ers. They're not getting any favors on the schedule either.
No, and they shouldn't. I mean, obviously, as being the division winner and the Super Bowl champs, but the Bengals will be interesting because they've actually had some success against the Chiefs in recent years, so especially at Arrowhead. So that'll be interesting. A couple extra days to help Kansas City prepare might be beneficial to them. But yeah, just again, if Mahomes can, I don't even want to say off, but it just wasn't out of this world. But 20 of 28, 291 and a touchdown, he was still really good.
That's what scares me. If you told me the Ravens would outpossess them, out first down them, out yardage them, that Mahomes would throw as many touchdowns as he did interceptions or vice versa, that Travis Kelce would have 3 catches. If you told me all of that this time yesterday, I'm thinking, okay, I'll take the Ravens by 7. That's the thing. That's really not that the Chiefs, obviously they have talent and everything you just said. There's reasons they win these games, but it's these games that they win that scare the hell out of me as a Niner fan or really any other team. And it I hate to say it, man, but it almost comes down to, and I would rather, again, as what most perceive, as a fan of what most perceive is their biggest threat, the 49ers, I would rather not beat them than have somebody get injured. Now, listen, if Patrick Mahomes gets injured tomorrow, knock on wood, and the Niners win the Super Bowl, I'm still going to buy the shirt. But I feel like the only thing standing between the Chiefs and a three-peat is health. That's it. I don't think anyone, they're not going to go undefeated, dude. And a lot of things can change between now and the end of the season. Obviously, I don't want to over dramatize after week 1, but we're talking about the 2-time defending champions, a guy who has had 3 Super Bowl titles and is just getting started. I really do have that kind of sad feeling that the rest of the league's playing for second. If the Chiefs stay healthy, they're just too damn strong.
Yeah, I'm just a big fan, too, of their coaching. I just think, I'm guessing a lot of the offseason was Baltimore. Look, they lost the AFC Championship game at home to Kansas City, and they had to live with that. And so they're thinking, okay, our first game of the year is at Kansas City. There'd be nothing better than to ruin their season. They start the game with the opening drive. I thought they schemed everything pretty well. What seemed to me is they did their best to take away Travis Kelce. Okay, and I think that's the right thing and the smart thing to do. But now the Chiefs have started to open up, and they just through scheme, through play design, they leave other guys open. I thought there was a couple plays where who was the other tight ends? Gray and Watson that, okay, they just kind of would hide Kelce and draw this attention. The center of the field's open. And so because they're so creative and they've got other players now that can make plays, they're going to be a problem. And I think people already knew that, but it confirmed it, I think, in week 1 with that team speed too on offense.
4 catches, 62 yards for Gray and Watson combined, as opposed to 3 and 34. I don't want to say Kelce was a decoy, but Kelce was a little bit of a decoy. He caught 3 of the 4 targets he had. That's the problem with that offense. Rashee Rice is your I don't want to say possession receiver, but he's your guy with the sure hands that looks to be the 100-yard a game threat. You have Mahomes and just how absolutely slippery he is, who is almost impossible to bring down, who's incredibly smart, who knows when to throw it out of bounds, but also knows he's the guy that pushes the envelope. There are times where he threads the needle and you're going, oh, no, yes. He's the ultimate no, yes quarterback, but he does it in such a smart way that his coaches trust him to do that. You have enough rushing, not just with Pacheco. You mentioned Edwards-Helaire is coming back. And by the way, they can use Worthy in the backfield as well. And I'm not trying to do some stupid pun here, but Xavier Worthy really does become an X factor for this team because you can put him in the backfield, because you can draw on his. You have the brawn of Kelce. You have, as you mentioned, Gray and Watson behind him. And then you have that speed of Worthy to go with everything else. It's just one of those pick your poisons. There's so many, you play poker and you're on the river, last card to turn. if you're the guy that's got 7 outs versus 2, you're in the advantaged position. It seems like the Chiefs, whenever they're on the river, they're the ones that could get the flush or the 4 of a kind or a full. They have so many outs, and I think that really. And by the way, that defense ain't bad either.
Yeah, I mean, I think Spagnuolo's a great coach there. They've been able to get better there year by year. And here they are taken away, even with Lamar having his, like the stats you read earlier, more time of possession. He ran for 100 yards. They were able to move the ball, more first downs. But when, they needed to get a stop, they got him just enough. And I know the last one's by an inch, but they got it. And that's pretty great work by that defense.
We're going to preview coming up here. Want to just line everything up for you for the rest of the show. We're going to preview week 1 starting in the next segment with the Packers and Eagles. That game is, of course, tonight. I love the fact that we're calling it the Love Hurts game. We'll get into the other big games at 8:13 as well. Don't forget 4 Down Territory. We're back with our locks and our upsets of the week as well. Greg Papa will join us at 9 a.m. to preview everything on Monday, the voice of the San Francisco 49ers. And, of course, don't forget you can hear every 49er game as their quest to yet another Super Bowl appearance and hopefully a Super Bowl championship starts on Monday right here on Sacktown Sports. And then that's what's great. We've we in the what to watch this weekend, we don't have enough room. We used to have to manufacture there's a really interesting darts competition on ESPN3 coming up Saturday. Jason, if you were a dart, what color would you be? Now we actually have things we can talk about. It's just ended up going nachos last night, Jason.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you know what I did? And I ended up
stinky.
I got a couple friends up here. I ended up doing they like pulled pork nachos. So I went and got some pulled pork because I didn't have time to smoke a whole, pork thing.
I thought you weren't a pulled meat person.
I'm not a pulled meat person. So for me, I know this. I know this is heresy. I get it. This is like the Creed and Nickelback of nachos. But honestly, dude, my favorite meat on nachos is ground beef, like taco meat. Like that type. I like chicken. I like barbacoa and I like carnitas. I like them. I enjoy them. But if you gave me a choice of all the steak, but if you gave me a choice of all the meats, just give me good old ground beef. Just I'm a simple
trusty,
man.
Reliable.
It is. It's shout out to ground beef. It's like the peanut butter of meats. It's like the ramen of meats. It's just there. I want a hamburger. Cool. I want some hamburger helper. It's right there.
Okay, but an important nacho question to me is when these are homemade, you made, correct?
Yes.
Are you doing, for lack of a better term, like how would I describe it? Runny cheese, liquid cheese as opposed to shredded cheese?
No, shredded cheese.
Okay, good.
I understand some people like the queso straight running. That's not for me. Give me what I usually do. I'll layer it. By the way, my wife makes the best nachos. I have to give it up to her.
You've got to layer it.
I can't. Yeah, you got to layer it. So I think I went. I went cheese first. I made a salsa. So you leave the salsa and guacamole and jalapenos for to add at the end. But black beans, didn't do refried. Did black beans, cheese, black olives. I like them little Ortega chilies, the diced Ortega chilies. That's cool. And then so I put the pulled pork on. I got to be honest. Maybe it was just because this was barbecue sauce based, but I don't like the sweet of the pulled pork. It doesn't do it for me. I'd rather have just the smoky barbecue of the chicken
or the ground beef
or the ground beef for me. And then dude, you and then what I like to do is I'll finish it with like they call it the Mexican blend of the grated cheese. And I'll throw that on the top and then put it under the broiler so everything is nice and hot. But tonight, chili.
Oh,
yeah. Last night was going to be chili. Tonight's going to be chili.
Stinky.
Yeah, well, I mean, and shout out to the Humble Chili, by the way. Just I don't know. Since we're doing shout outs today, shout out to chili as an excellent football food.
I have no problem with chili. Chili's great.
And they say, Jason, it gets better every day. It's in the fridge. Yeah,
really?
They say that.
Oh,
okay. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's get into week 1 NFL. We'll start with the game in Brazil tonight. Move on from there. Lots of games to look at. We'll pick the best ones, and we'll start it next.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sacktown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for 3, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Hey, daydreamer. Did we catch you thinking about your dreams? With Wells Fargo Premier, a team can help you plan for them. So let's imagine your biggest dream. Not the easy one, the one behind it. The one you work towards every day and every night. Can you see it? Then we can help you plan for it. Ready to start planning for your dreams? You can at wellsfargo.com/getpremier.
Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. They believe it's all about people and choices. Their goal is to find the car that fits your lifestyle. With their huge inventory of models, they've got the right car and, more importantly, at the right price every time. Experience for yourself why their customers drive away smiling. Discover the difference, because it's not just about the car, it's also about the people. Experience the Sacramento Dodge Jeep and Chrysler difference off Business 80 next to Hagen Oaks, or you can find them online, SacSuperstore.com.
Hello, I'm Frank Cockrell, the Retirement Security Centers with a weekly economic update. Are we headed for an economic downturn, or some economists the boy who cried recession? Consumer spending was steadily up in July, suggesting a more solid economic foundation. The spending bumps were across both goods and services. Robust spending is usually not indicative of a pending recession, but is there more to the story? The U.S. savings rate dropped to 2.9%, the lowest level since June 2022. Some economists think the spend down is concerning, while others point to increasing balance sheets as we see rises in both home equity and stock price gains. These rates do not include unreported data on income earned by undocumented immigrants, so savings rates may be slightly higher. Available job openings at 7.67 million have lessened to the lowest rate in 3.5 years, bringing the open job ratio down to 1.1 open positions for every potential worker looking for employment. These data points all could lead further credence to lowered interest rates at the Fed's September meeting. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Osaic Cafe Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Osaic Cafe is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic Cafe.
Labor Day, our annual celebration of workers and their achievements, was first observed in New York, and the first Monday in September became a national holiday in 1894. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Each year we commemorate Labor Day with parades, picnics, and family gatherings. And right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings is celebrating with their exceptional whole store Labor Day sale. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, accents, or accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide Labor Day sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stanton, Omnia, England, Stickley, Flex Steel, and all the rest of the award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable Labor Day sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Get your tickets for the Marysville Stampede September 14th and 15th at MarysvilleStampede.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sacktown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross. Getting to our preview week 1 in a second. Want to say this segment brought to you by bacon. Bacon. It's what's for breakfast. Although I have to defrost it, but just went into the freezer and got me some bacon, Jason.
How do you make your bacon?
How do you make your bacon? Well, there's a couple different ways, Jason, but I will say this. My go-to method, well, first off, I'm going to have to defrost it. This is one of those meats where you can actually throw it in the microwave, defrost it, and you're going to be fine. But I almost 100% of the time I make my bacon in the oven. I'll lay it out on a rack with a tinfoil or parchment paper underneath to catch the drippings. And then I'll pepper it. I love peppered bacon, so I'll pepper it. I'll grate the pepper over it. Throw it in. No muss. No fuss. If I'm feeling frisky, I'll turn it over halfway through, but you really don't need to. And then you can make a little corner of the tinfoil, which is why I use it. Make it into a little spout, and I have a little jar that I keep bacon grease in. And yeah, dude, it comes out perfect every time.
Same. I do it in the oven. I've seen people do it on the stovetop, just different ways, but yeah, I usually do it in the oven.
I honestly, excuse me, I used to do it on the stove like I think most people do it on the stove. I used to do it on the stove all the time until I learned. Honestly, there is, unless you don't have an oven or if you have a stove, you have an oven, or it's being used for something, there's just no reason to do. Not only is it going to turn out better in the oven, but no mess, no fuss. You don't have to sit there. You don't have to have one of them pieces of fat explode in your eye. You don't.
That burns.
It does burn. Also, one other note, guys, during the break, and as always, this is in no way, I want to be very clear, this is in no way a shot at the wonderful person that put this out. Just like, remember when we read the email earlier, the office email from the person we love to death? This is their job, and they did a phenomenal job at it, but I got an email, as you guys did too, which is the weekend notes for our station, and they have a wonderful weekend note on KNCI, our sister station KNCI, and all the things they're doing and they've got going on and all that fun stuff, right? I mean, we're talking like 3 pages of stuff. Okay. Then KZZO, our other sister station, all the stuff that they're doing, ton of stuff going on. And then I'm looking, guys, not a single weekend note on Sacktown Sports. Not one. Not football starting. Make sure you tune in. None of the contests we have going on. The big fishing shows coming up, and all the wonderful UC Davis. I mean, Chris, I'm going to ask you to put on your management hat now. What's going on? Why are we not getting proper By the way, why do I care that other employees read internal emails about Sacktown Sports? Probably it's a similar part of me that loves it when the Kings are on national TV. It really doesn't make a difference, but I want people in Connecticut watching us just because Sacramento. It's that pride thing. Like, why are we not in these weekend notes?
You said that this just came out.
I was gonna say I don't see anything.
I don't have anything.
What? Yeah, it was from. Well, I don't want to say her name on the air, but front desk. Was it recall? Wait a minute, it's not my inbox anymore.
Is that the old one?
No, it came out as a new one. I just saw it. It had the little blue dot next to it for being new. Wow. Wait, is it possible that it got recalled because Sacktown Sports wasn't in there? Ooh, stay tuned. No, I read the whole thing during the break.
Yeah, I never saw it.
I didn't see it.
Okay, now it's a thing. Let's all monitor our emails for the rest of the show. Coming up at 9:45, Friday Fun and Games. We'll have an update.
We'll read emails.
Okay, well, maybe they're going to recall it and put it back in. Maybe they're listening right now and just recalled it because we need proper representation in the internal work emails. I find that very important for chemistry. Also, football is great for chemistry as well. Oop, hold on, I'm getting a note here. Oh, it did get recalled. Why am I laughing at that? I don't know. I'm not trying to. Why are you guys so quiet? Am I getting in trouble here?
No, you're everything you're getting. We are not. So that's
okay. All right. Yeah. Our good friend Simone she says, I got your back. I saw it. It was a real email. It got recalled. Maybe that's what it was. Sacktown Sports will be in there. So there you go. And I'm glad I was able to solve that for everybody listening right now. I know that's incredibly more important than what you want to hear, which is the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Green Bay Packers. And Jason,
this is Brazil.
I will tell you this. Yes, live from Brazil tonight, 5-ish. These are two. Okay, so we feel like we know the Chiefs are going to be good. We know that the Niners are going to be good. We know, the Lions, the Cowboys, the Bills. There's teams we can put in the category of barring injury, they're going to be good. And then there's teams, the Giants, the Patriots, the Panthers. There's their counterparts. All right, well, injuries doesn't matter at that point. They're going to be bad. In the category of what is the biggest difference in ceiling and floor, there's two teams playing tonight that I think are both in that category. If you go back to last year, and we've talked about it before with the Philadelphia Eagles, they were 10-1. They were 10-1 going into the game versus the 49ers. They had them at home. They had just come off of a win against Buffalo. They had beaten Kansas City at Arrowhead the week before. They had a bye, and then the week before that, they beat Dallas, and that was a hot Dallas team. They beat Miami a couple weeks prior, Tampa Bay, division winner, Minnesota. They had quality wins in that 10-1, and then San Francisco blew them out, just embarrassed them at home at Philadelphia. They go to Dallas. Dallas destroys them 33-13. They go to Seattle. Seattle wins by a field goal. They get a late win against the Giants at home in a game that was closer than it should have been. Lose at home to Arizona, lose at the Giants, and that's how they finished the year 1-5. And of those 6 games, you had 2 against the Giants, 1 against Arizona. We talked, Jason, about how the Steelers a few years ago started out 10-0, 11-0, whatever it was, and came back to earth. This was not that. And it didn't look like, I know they suffered injuries like everybody else, but this was not an overly injured team. There's something went seriously wrong with them. So for Philly, is this a redemption tour of a very hungry and embarrassed team that wants to put last year behind them? Or is this a team that lost Hassan Reddick, that lost DeAndre Swift, and that was really the team that we saw last year? I think the Eagles are a fascinating team to analyze going into this year.
Yeah, I agree, because to what you had said, at one point we're thinking of them coming off of a Super Bowl loss and having an incredible start as one of the best teams in the NFL. And then the last part of the season just totally collapsed on them. So, which team are they? They did get gutted by losing some of their coordinators the year prior that became NFL head coaches. So that had to have its impact too. And so now you see a year removed from that, still a lot of high-level talent. I think these are two intriguing teams. I feel like people think the Packers are on the comeback and on the rise, while the Eagles, can they stay at that high level what they once were as one of the better teams in the NFL?
And not to spend too much time on this game, but I will. With the Packers, they're also a fascinating team. Again, are the Packers the team that we saw last year develop right in front of our eyes? Are they the team that, yes, they finished 9-8, they finished behind the Lions, but when you look a little bit closer at that season last year, they won 6 of their last 8 games, including in Detroit, home against Kansas City. And Jordan Love looked like he had become the heir apparent to the Favre Aaron Rodgers throne. Is that who they are? Did we see them develop, and are they going to carry that 6-2 record to end the season over to this year? So you have two teams. I don't want to say Jekyll and Hyde, but you have two teams, like I said, that have a very high ceiling, but also a floor. The gap there is crazy. By the way, I'm gonna. Well, we'll save the predictions, I guess, but I have a good idea as to who I think is going to win the game tonight. We also, Jason, as we get into the weekend, how about the Steelers and Falcons? You got on paper that doesn't look like a humdinger, but look, you got Kirk Cousins and Russ Wilson. You have two very accomplished veteran quarterbacks that both are starting their first run in a new place.
And different kind of expectations. Atlanta hasn't been good for a while, and they're hoping that quarterback play will help solidify them. And the Steelers have been good. It's just, can quarterback play keep them going, not screw things up? Roethlisberger was so good for so long. Then they tried Kenny Pickett and Trubisky, and they're just kind of scuffling, but still would win enough. So there's some pressure on Wilson. You got Fields there behind him. We read this, I think, David, like 2 weeks ago, where we said, man, look at Pittsburgh's first 10, 11 games compared to the finish. The finish is absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
So they need to get off to a good start.
We'll take a break here, just a 1 minute break, everybody. When we come back, we'll preview week 1, part 2 here, including your Las Vegas Raiders. So you guys in the chat will help you out there. Cowboys, Browns, and a couple other incredibly intriguing matchups this weekend. We'll follow that with 4 Down Territory as well, the Lock of the Week edition. And don't forget Greg Papa in 45 minutes. 1 minute break. We're back right after this.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
It's a toss to McCaffrey, a cutback run 30, breaks 340, McCaffrey midfield, McCaffrey 40, 30, 20, and toasted all the way down to the 3-yard line on the first play of the game. CMC Dynamite!
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year, and thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. Hey, welcome back. Chris, quick question, because I never do want to steal your thunder here, but I just came across something. And you're who's hot and who's not. Let me see if I can do this without giving it away. Is your who's not, does it have anything to do with rushing quarterbacks?
It does.
Does it have anything to do with quarterbacks that rush for a certain amount of yards and pass for a certain amount of yards?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's why we ask.
You guys have the same website or what?
I think we follow a few of the same things. Coming up then at 8:44, just before Greg Papa, Chris has a pretty crazy stat having to do with Lamar Jackson and what he did last night. Why? Well, maybe you don't want to do that in the future if you're an NFL quarterback. Let's move on to previewing week 1. Jason, we talked Steelers Falcons a little bit. I am fascinated with the Bears this year, and I always do fall for the hard knocks banana in the tailpipe. I admit it. Titans at Chicago. It's going to be electric there. Lot of pressure on Caleb Williams, but in all reality, he was the number one pick for a reason. This guy looks like the real deal. They've got DeAndre Swift running the ball. They have a good, and let's not forget Khalil Herbert, who's not only going to be great to spell Swift, but also if something happens to DeAndre, Herbert's a border, he's a starting caliber running back. Cole Kmet at tight end, who's just fine. And then they add Keenan Allen to go with the number 9-10 pick in the draft, I think, Roma Dunze. And then, of course, DJ Moore, who was a stud for them last year, 1,000-yard receiver under Justin Fields and Luke Getsy. I'm really curious to see how the Bears look.
A lot of times when a rookie quarterback, in this case, gets taken number one, there's huge expectations, but the team's so bad. Well, Chicago ended up getting to 7 wins by the end of the year. You mentioned the people they had been adding. They drafted Dunze. They acquire Swift. They've got weapons for him. So the question mark will be, one, Williams, how does a rookie perform? And we know the history of that. It's generally kind of rough going. The NFL's good for a reason. These coordinators get paid for a reason, and all these defenses. But Caleb Williams is going to have enough behind him. It's just, can he play well? Can the line protect him? Because I don't think he's going to be shy on weapons. A lot of guys come in as the number one pick overall. It's like they got nothing to go with them. So I think he's got a head start to begin his career, which is good. Now he's got to take advantage of what the expectations are for him and for the Bears.
Dallas visits Cleveland, Browns and Cowboys, and you put it perfectly in the notes, Jason. These are two teams that are we could call them the doors, because they need to break on through to the other side.
I like that one. I did not put that down there. That's a Dave original.
Appreciate that. Two teams that do need to break through, though. They're good. They've got studs. They've got studs galore, dude. These are both really good teams on paper. And I think maybe one of the most fascinating storylines going into the season is Deshaun Watson. And every time you mention his name, you have to acknowledge the asterisk and everything he did off field. We get that. We're thinking about that from a pure football standpoint. If Deshaun Watson can be anything near the quarterback he was on a terrible Houston Texans team, Cleveland's a Super Bowl contender, in my opinion. Straight up. They are a Super Bowl contender. But that's not what he's been. He hasn't been close. And as of right now, Jason, as of right this second, 2 years in, he is on par to be in the conversation, if not at the top of the list, of not only amongst the biggest trade busts in history, but the biggest contract bust in history. Something's got to happen there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't look at, well, first I'll start with Dallas and then get back to Deshaun Watson. Dallas, I don't look as a team that's missing something. What they're missing is the postseason wins. And that's, I don't know what else they can do except for get there and try again. I mean, if Dallas is 14-3, everyone will go, wow, best team in the NFL, 1 seed, look out. Well, they got to prove it. And that's a tough spot to be in because they've been good, but they can't get enough big playoff wins. And for Cleveland, Deshaun Watson, I feel like, has a lot of pressure on him this season, and it's deserved. They mortgaged everything to get him. I think it made sense when they did it, and they expected a bigger return. Their defense has been incredible. They've got some good players around him. He's got to have like Joe Flacco saved their year last year, and so that's where they were with Watson when he went out with injury. So he has to be better, or they're going to move on from him and kind of admit their losses as one of the worst moves they ever made, if that's the way it goes, but they're hoping that's not the way it goes.
How do they move on from him? I'm not disagreeing with you.
Maybe they can't. Yeah.
That contract's guaranteed, 100% guaranteed. They are absolutely screwed if he does not turn it around. Also, one final question for you on that. Jason, who has more pressure on him, Dak Prescott or Deshaun Watson?
I feel like it's Deshaun, but the answer is probably Dak, just because they're a higher profile and they're always going to be talked about. So if Dak, I like what your prediction was yesterday as kind of one of your outside picks for MVP. I think he has that ability and has that roster in front of him, and he could do that. He could have an MVP season, but if they lost their first playoff game, who's getting crushed? But Dak, right?
Yeah, and also not that Dak needs money, but Deshaun Watson has generational wealth now, and it ain't going anywhere. And Dak's got a contract coming up. So, finally, Raiders, Chargers.
The Raiders.
We talked about it a little bit earlier, but just from the Charger standpoint, we'll start with them because we're going to talk more about the Raiders. The debut of Jim Harbaugh as the Chargers head coach. And again, on paper, there are some pieces. Justin Herbert is a very good quarterback. You've got, wasn't this the Ravens backcourt or backfield last year?
Yes.
Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. Lad McConkey's the rookie coming in that people are fairly high on. Josh Palmer, DJ Chark coming over from Jacksonville as well. And then you've got some guys on defense, Joey Bosa, Denzel Perryman, Khalil Mack, Asante Samuel, Derwin James. I love their defense. I like their defense maybe even more than their offense. If everything goes right, this is another one of those ceiling teams that I don't think they win the AFC West, but I could see them getting in the playoffs. But it's going to be a very interesting. And by the way, one more thing. And I can't quantify this other than just saying it. Jim Harbaugh is a really good coach his first 2, 3, 4 years, wherever he is. He then wears on people and has to move on. But don't discount Jim Harbaugh when he debuts with a club. And don't be surprised if Jim Harbaugh is in the conversation for Coach of the Year.
That's what I said yesterday as far as the surprise team. I think it's the Chargers. And by surprise, they won 5 games. So I picture them being a lot better based on a couple things you addressed. The defense, I like a lot. And then Harbaugh, I mean, all his quirks, whatever you think of him, Dave, he's won everywhere. University of San Diego to Stanford to the 49ers to Michigan. And usually it's kind of immediate success too.
Yeah.
So to think the Chargers won't be a playoff team in year 1 or year 2, I think by year 2 they definitely will be. That's what his track record has suggested. He's done it everywhere. I don't find a reason why he couldn't do it with the LA Chargers too.
With the Las Vegas Raiders, it starts and ends on offense with the Davante Adams, who is always in the conversation for best receiver in the NFL. But we are on age watch with Davante Adams. He is now 31 years old, will be 32 in December. But this is also a guy that if he ain't catching 1,000 more yards, it's because he's missing games. Last year, 1,144, 1,500 the year before that in Oakland, 1,500 the year before that, his last year in Green Bay. Big shoes to fill with Josh Jacobs moving on. They've put a lot of love with Zamir White, who looks like he's going to get the start, but don't discount if he has issues. Alexander Madison, the former Viking, is right behind him. They got Brock Bowers. They got Michael Mayer, who they drafted. That's a very good appearance. That's a very good appearance of a tight end duo that could do some damage. And Jacoby Myers is an underrated receiver as well, who always seems to pop up. The thing with the Raiders is this: quarterback is the most important position in sports. And what are you going to be able to do going out there with no disrespect, but Gardner Minshew, who for a reason, Jason, he seems like a wonderful dude, but he is on his 4th team in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that.
Exactly, for a reason. I'm thinking about when we're previewing this game and we're talking mainly about both teams' defenses. I think that's where they shine. But the last time they played late December last year, I remember it was 49-0 at one point, Raiders.
Yeah.
And they ended up winning that game something like 63-21 or something like that. So that game had a ton of offense. I don't know that we'll have that this week. And part of it is what you just said, Gardner Minshew. And, that label, which I think sometimes is unfair to a quarterback as a game manager, but that's kind of what you need to do by nature for the position, is not make mistakes, move the chains, get first downs, and get touchdowns. If he can be effective at that, then that's why you start him. He's been around. He played at a high level in college, and then he's played some NFL games. He's had starts. I don't love their quarterback situation, but look, if he can do that, minimize mistakes, move the chains, and make enough plays with his playmakers, that's how he keeps that job and probably can maximize the number of wins the Raiders get with that offense.
We will take a break. When we come back, 4 down territory, locks of the week. And if you could go to one NFL game this weekend, where would you do it? We'll get to that right.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sackdownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is finally Friday. Out the door to a mild start to the day. We'll feature plenty of sunshine for the afternoon along with light westerly winds. Temperatures hot today with a high of 103 expected. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's been said an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And when it comes to a nice, cool summer, it's so true. Right now, get a complete air conditioner tune-up for just $59. Bonnie. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696355.
You ain't black to me unless you got a case of water on the floor at home. I walk around with my hands behind my back. Like, can I see your pantry, please? Or laundry room, they the same, I think.
You know him from ABC's Blackish and his latest Netflix special, Charlene's Boy, actor and comedian Dion Cole. My New Normal Tour, September 15th at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Dion Cole live.
You guys got a new Honda? Well, it was like this. My mom was driving me to school when, bam, our car started smoking. My mom wasn't happy, so she called my dad and said, honey, if you value your life and our marriage, you'll take care of this now. So my dad calls up Stockton Honda and was like, can you get me approved for a new car and save my marriage? And they're all, sure, Mr. Jones, we do this every day. And just like that, Stockton Honda to the rescue. StocktonHonda.com.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. Because nobody likes having to choose. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
I love you. Also, I'm a robot.
Or being a dog person and a cat person.
Who wants a treat? Who's a good boy?
Or like being an extrovert and an introvert.
This is so fun! I can't wait to go home!
At T-Mobile, you don't have to choose. You can get the benefits you want and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how much you can save with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, we'll pay off your locked AT&T phone up to $650, and you'll get a new 5G phone for free.
Pay off via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Free phone up to $830 via 24 monthly bill credits with qualifying plan and credit, plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling to continue bill credits, or they stop and required finance agreement balances due. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See T-Mobile.com.
It's unforgiving. It starts with a nod of the head, a lifetime in 8 seconds, known as rodeo. All right, pull. The 90th annual Marysville Stampede is coming to the Cotton Rosso Arena September 14th and 15th. If you want to see rodeo's best, you better be there. It's a whole weekend of the best pro rodeo action for the whole family. Bareback, saddle bronc, bull riding, plus the Flying Cowboys BMX motorcycle show. It's just $25 for adults and $15 for kids 4 to 12. Don't you miss 1 second of the heart-pounding, ground-shaking, bucking, twisting rodeo action. Get your tickets at MarysvilleStampede.com. The 90th annual Marysville Stampede, Saturday, September 14th at 5 p.m. and Sunday, September 15th at 3:30 p.m. at the Cotton Rosso Arena in Marysville. Tickets are available now at MarysvilleStampede.com.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Parmalee.
I want to close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich. Dasha. And more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House. High Voltage live boxing action returns to Northern California Saturday, September 21st at the venue at Thunder Valley with Thunder Showdown featuring the undefeated 12th ranked welterweight in the world, Amari Jones, plus Alan Sanchez versus Sal Briseno, and 8 more exciting undercard fights with Maribel Guerrero, Blake McKernan, Gabriel Garcia, Anthony Hernandez, Ruben Torres, Alexander Espinoza, and more. Don't miss the Thunder Showdown September 21st at Thunder Valley. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Play card subject to change.
Get your tickets for the Marysville Stampede September 14th and 15th at MarysvilleStampede.com.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140
on Sacktown Sports.
Who is this, Chris? I should know this. It's bothering me.
Kennedy.
The former MTV VJ?
You know what? I don't know.
I don't think it is. Welcome back. I see Leezy in the chat. Leezy comes in here, there, and every once in a while. Always appreciate Leezy and everybody else in the YouTube chat. Hello, everybody. Hello, chat mob. Also, you can be part of the text mob at 916-339-1140. When that rejoiner came back, I knew it wasn't, but it just sounded very Jamiroquish to me. Shout out Jamiroquai.
Yeah.
How about a Friday shout out to Jamiroquai?
Just because.
All right, we got stuff to get to. I believe Chris has the music. I'm looking forward to the bells. It always gives me butterflies. How about some 4-down territory, Jason Ross?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
That's
where he hits the button.
Let's do
it. All right, not the best human, Christopher Lodge. He has the questions in front of him. 4-down territory. Question number 1.
What is the lock of the week in the NFL?
Lock it up.
Lock it up. I'll take it. There's a few here, but I'm just not going to overthink it. Cincinnati at home against the hapless Patriots. I mean, if the Patriots win 4 games this year, I think that's probably the number, although I haven't looked at it. And Cincinnati with a healthy Joe Burrow is one of the best teams in the NFL. Week 1 is always goofy, but give me the Bengals.
I am 100% lock with you, Dave. I think that's it. Part of it is me being a believer, as I said yesterday, in the Cincinnati Bengals, also not believing at all in what New England is throwing out there this year. They have their time. They're going through a transition. It's going to be a tough year 1, I believe, for their head coach, Gerard Mayo. So, yeah, I think the lock it up, Cincinnati Bengals.
Number 2.
Who is your upset of the week in the NFL?
I struggle calling this an upset because the home team is only favored by 2.5. But give me the Cowboys in Cleveland.
Okay.
It's a tough one, but God, the way the Cowboys start and the fact that the Browns have Jerome Ford, who, by the way, was just fine filling in for Nick Chubb. He ain't Nick Chubb, but he was fine. It's just I need to see what Deshaun Watson's all about, man, because as we talked about in the last segment, he ain't it the last couple of years with Cleveland. Give me the Cowboys in a very minor upset to start the season.
Okay, my upset this week, they are a home underdog, which I generally like those chances. It's a division game, so I like that. There's a lot of institutional knowledge. I think the Colts are going to surprise the Texans in week 1 as 3-point underdogs at home. So give me the Colts as a surprise winner in week 1.
Number 3.
If you could attend one college football game this weekend, which one would it be?
Well, I know what it wouldn't be. Yeah. Really funny, Jason.
There's only, besides the Sac State of Fresno State and the UC Davis home opener,
there's
those
only
are the
one
games to attend. But yeah, the big house, Michigan, Texas.
Yeah, I know, and that's it. It's 9 a.m. right to start the day. Texas is actually favored by 7 going into this one. I was just scrolling to see if I'm missing some sort of like fun SEC, but Georgia, Tennessee Tech, that's going to be a humdinger. As always, taking away the fact that it would be Notre Dame, Northern Illinois, because I want to go see Notre Dame Stadium more than anything else. You're just obviously talking game for game. You're right. There is only one only option, and that is number 3 Texas, number 10 Michigan at the rather large house.
Yeah. So wait, Notre Dame would be your
at the large house.
Would Notre Dame be your one place you want to go to the most
for college football?
Yeah,
that's number 1.
Okay.
My favorite Periscope was filmed there.
Hold on. Look, watching a game at Tallahassee is that's number 1 for me no matter what. I'm kind of taking that off the board. That surprises you at all? What would be the one you think it would be?
I'm not surprised, I guess, but I feel like there's a list that Notre Dame should be on.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if it'd be an SEC, an Alabama at home, LSU at night, Georgia, Michigan, Tennessee. I don't know, just Penn State.
No,
lots of choices.
It's a valid point. Look, Notre Dame is the cathedral. I mean, that's the place. And it's not just about the game and the stadium. It's about the campus and just being there. Midwest, fall, crisp air, all that stuff. There's nothing that embodies college football. Great. But to your point, seeing an SEC game, the tailgating, the sights, the smell, there's nothing like it. The closest I got was what was it? It was Kentucky, Auburn up in Kentucky a few years ago, but a Georgia, a South, an Ole Miss, 100%, dude.
Yeah. Even who is it that does that interstate? Oh, Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech.
Oh my gosh, that looks intense.
Now, Dave, do you know the? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say that's the best opening in college football, maybe the best opening in sports. Go ahead.
Do you want to know what the weather is going to be like in South Bend?
Oh, what? Yes, I do actually.
63 degrees and slightly cloudy.
Come on! Oh my god!
I think that's like the weather report Dave would write in if he could.
It is. I changed it. Notre Dame, Northern Illinois. Sorry. I would just. Oh my goodness! Notre Dame's favored by 28, and if Lou Holtz was still their head coach, his whole press conference would be, "Well, Northern Illinois has got a phenomenal defense." And honestly, I'd be surprised if we come out and win this ball game. Thank God he is.
Wow, that's gonna be a tough one. They win by 70.
Exactly. Number whatever. The next one. Yeah. Thank you.
If you could attend one NFL game this weekend, which would it be?
All right. Taking the Niners off the table.
We go to Brazil.
So okay, here's the thing. There's 2 places in the world that I just don't want to go to. Well, 3 now that I've been to China. I don't care to go back. But Brazil and India are kind of.
This is Brazil.
Why on Brazil?
First off, you're just flying forever, and then it just seems just hot and humid and weird. I don't know. There's just not a lot. I wouldn't mind the cuisine, and as a guy that spends a lot of time in Mexico and tries to tell a lot of people, guys, don't believe the media, don't believe the hype. You go to the right spots. You're incredibly safe in Mexico. I don't want to jinx myself, but I am that guy usually. But I'd feel a little nervous in Brazil, but mostly there's not much. I'd like to see the big Jesus guy, maybe go to the beach.
Big Jesus guy.
Well, you know what I'm talking about on the hill.
Yeah.
Isn't that a big Jesus?
Christ the Redeemer.
That one too.
Also known as Big Jesus guy.
Yeah, big Jesus guy. But if I'm, I'll tell you this much. If it was Jetsons rules where I could go into one of those whooshy things and be in Brazil and watch the game and then whoosh back, yeah, I'd probably do that.
Wait, isn't that long?
Is it like 8 hours, 9 hours?
No. From San Francisco to Sao Paulo, it's 14 and a half hours.
Oh sorry. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's. Let's see. I'm probably gonna go, dude. Honestly, because there's not great options this weekend. If I'm being honest, in my opinion, I'll go Bears Titans. I know that sounds weird, but again, I'm number 1, I'm curious about the team. Number 2, Soldier Field, dude. And we're not going to have Soldier Field forever. They're building a new stadium, and it's going to be electric there. And Chicago's a great city. I need to see more of the food. The weather, I'm guessing, is going to be fantastic.
70 degrees.
I mean, come on, man. Like, so taking it all into account, it's a 3-hour flight. Give me the Bears.
Okay. I like it.
And you could drive from South Bend right to Chicago.
That's what I'm saying.
And maybe, wait a minute, just maybe, let me do this really fast. Oh my gosh, Dave.
What?
You should have gone already, because today you could have gone to Wrigley to watch the Yankees and Cubs at Wrigley.
What a weekend, dude. What a weekend. Yankees, Cubs at Wrigley on Friday, Notre Dame Saturday, Chicago and Tennessee Sunday. That is a hell of a weekend. See you later, diet, by the way.
Yeah, but you got it. Chicago is a good eating city, that's for sure. Yeah. I'm between two. I won't. This will be my honorable mention. The Lions at home for the Rams. I think that game's gonna be fun in Detroit. That'll be a fun home opener. But I want to go to Cleveland. I want to be in the dog pound. The Browns. There'll be Cowboys fans there too, and I think it'll get a little bit unruly and kind of on the edge where you're like, "Hey, look, I'm not rooting for one team, so I could just observe." I think that game will be fun. And the dog pound. What do we got weather-wise? 72 in Cleveland. Yeah, let's go there.
Cleveland.
Cowboys and Browns. Hey, you know what I heard? Cleveland rocks.
Cleveland, city of lights, city of magic. Cleveland, Ohio.
Isn't that the place where the river caught on fire?
Yeah, the Cuyahoga River caught on fire. That is a true story. And Randy, the short people guy,
Newman.
Yeah, Randy Newman wrote a song about it that was used at the start of the movie Major League. We'll take a break. When we return, as we wait for Greg Papa at 9, Niners at 9. Who's hot? Who's not? And like I said, Chris has a very cool stat. And let's go streaking as well. Everyone is streaking. Will that continue? I don't know. We'll find out next.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the three-point shot.
Get your Kings fix all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sacktown Sports and sacktownsports.com.
Stop what you're doing, because right now, Kohl's is giving away millions in instant Kohl's Cash in stores for free. You heard that right. This weekend is their Kohl's Cash Ultimate Giveaway. Plus, get 3 days of deals in store and online. Yep, you definitely don't want to miss this. So hurry to Kohl's today, before it's too late. Kohl's Cash Giveaway valid in store only, redeemable only that day. Some exclusions apply while supplies last. Ends September 8th. See store or Kohls.com for details.
At the UPS Store, we understand the importance of a first impression. That's why we're here to help you put your best foot forward and be unstoppable with our printing services. With high-quality paper stock options, banners, business cards, menus, and more, we make sure your small business stands out and your message reaches the masses. After all, we're the one-stop prints that pop store. Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, prices, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable. Come into your local store today and get your print on.
As a mom, I'd do anything to keep my child out of physical pain.
Dr. Pamela Maida is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon.
As a doctor, I know that growth spurts can cause pain in my child's feet, and that can affect their legs and back too.
Good Feet Youth Arch Supports are designed to alleviate, even eliminate common pain.
Investing in youth arch supports for your child or teen is one of the best decisions you can make.
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk. Hey, listen up. This is your Sacktown Sports live events calendar. First on the lineup is the Lodi Grape Festival coming September 12th through the 15th. And then rock out to Zeppelin USA at Thunder Valley on September 19th. On September 20th, laugh your heart out with comedy superstar Nikki Glazer at Thunder Valley. And the laughs keep on coming on September 21st with George Lopez when he takes the stage at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. If you're a country fan, you won't want to miss Winona Judd at Hard Rock Live on September 28th. And then on October 4th, comedy legend Rob Schneider is bringing the laughs to Hard Rock Live Sacramento. On October 20th, you don't want to miss Renee Vaca as he brings his hilarious stand-up to the Crest Theater. And finally, gear up for the ultimate Halloween bash with a $5,000 costume contest. It's Sinners and Saints Saturday at Thunder Valley on Saturday, October 26th. Costumes, music, and plenty of thrills. And that's your Sacktown Sports live events calendar. For details, go to sacktownsports.com. And stay locked on to Sacktown Sports for your chance to win tickets. What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Before we get to who's hot, who's not, Adam Schefter reports that the Commanders, and I think this might have actually happened yesterday, but I just saw it. They have fired. There was an employee that was caught on tape saying some things about the team and different stuff. Well, the Commanders have fired that employee one day after that video surfaced, in which, amongst other things, he made comments about the team's players being anti-gay, accused Jerry Jones of being a racist, and called the NFL commissioner Roger Goodell a $50 million puppet. So the season is off and ready to go, guys. We are back. Football's back, baby. Wow. Who's hot, Chris?
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
In last night's game, Lamar Jackson threw for 273 yards and a touchdown. Also ran for 122 yards in the Ravens' 27-20 loss to the Chiefs last night in the NFL season opener.
Jason, that you think they would have won?
I would have thought so based on that.
I'll tell you this much. If you tell me those numbers, if you have a quarterback putting up those numbers, I don't care who it is and who they're playing. You have a quarterback that's put up those numbers, and I'll bet it doesn't happen that often that they do that. You're probably getting a win every other time. It just happened that they're playing the Chiefs. Who's not?
Quarterbacks who throw for 250 or more yards and rush for 80 or more yards in a game.
What? That goes against everything I just said.
Since 2021, quarterbacks with those numbers are 0-7. Lamar Jackson has 3 of them. Josh Allen has 3 of them. And Taysom Hill has the 7th.
I mean, that's one of those things that just doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, yes, you could get into the nitty gritty and say, well, actually, that makes sense because if he's doing that, that means the rushing game is not working. But you think a quarterback puts up those types of numbers. And I don't think it's the last time Lamar Jackson's going to do that either, Jason.
I don't think so. Like we said earlier, I mean, he looked great, looked quick, running a little bit too much or taking on a little too much contact for my liking. But, you know, to each their own, I guess. And the Ravens are going to play with a little fire there, I think, if they're going to keep rushing him that much.
All right. That's who's hot. That's who's not. We got some streaks going, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. Let's get right to it right now.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking! Yeah!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing? We're streaking!
All right.
Yeah.
We are streaking, Dave.
Yeah.
Officially as a show.
Yeah.
Dave, you're at 3-game hitting streak. Chris and I are at a 4-game hitting streak going into yesterday. So, look at us.
Look at us.
Look at us streaking.
Who'd have thought?
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Dave, yesterday you and I selected, after about 4 different picks for you, you finally landed on Yordan Alvarez.
Right on.
And I also took Yordan Alvarez, which I was nervous about.
You also tried to get me to pick him.
Yeah.
That makes him Ardon.
But I'm like, that's okay. This guy's a stud. He's hitting over 300, so let's go. Before we even get to the results of that, Dave, I'll let you know that the Astros were shut out yesterday, 1-0.
Of course they
and
were.
only had 4 hits as a team. But look, we just need one of them. So Yordan Alvarez, for both you and I, to extend your streak to 4 or mine to 5, got up 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
And Yordan Alvarez,
come on,
0 for 4.
Ooh, you suck. Sorry, it's over. It's over now. The streak is over. It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
That's bacon.
That's bacon.
We got to get hot. We're running out of time.
Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are dirt.
I feel like dirt.
I feel like total dirt.
Well, maybe we can root on our teammate who you praised in your article write-up that was about Chris, right? Was there a lot on there about Chris?
Yeah, it was a lot. It was actually basically about Chris.
Yeah. He's at 4, trying to get to 5, and he took Lawrence Butler. He took an Oakland A. That's
Larry
bold.
Butts.
Larry Butts. 4 plate appearances. Larry Butts. Got 1 hit.
Hey,
Chris is at 5. Dave, you and I are at 0. How do you feel? Your thoughts?
I feel like a one-legged dog trying to bury a turd on an ice pond. Just cold, slippery, incredibly busy, and it ain't gonna happen.
I'm actually kind of jealous of you guys.
Why?
You get your pick of the litter.
Well,
it's anybody. Everybody's playing tonight.
The fact that they got shut out yesterday gives me a good feeling today. Plus, they're going against a pitcher named Brandon. I think that's actually, it's Pfaadt.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's how you pronounce it. Brandon. So I will take Jose Altuve.
Altuve.
Yeah. Give me
Chili tonight?
Brandon.
I'm going to take the game that Carmichael Dave is not at but should be from the New York Yankees. Aaron Judge, he's homering today, by the way. It's been a while.
Yeah, that's been a while.
Don't you remember what happened?
Oh, I saw Paw Patrol. This is the game that breaks the streak. He hits a hit. He gets a home run at Wrigley. Pleases the Cub fans that are there. So Aaron Judge for me.
You think that would please the Cub fans?
Yeah, they're there to see Judge.
They are.
I mean, everyone goes to the baseball game to see Aaron Judge hit home runs at a stadium, right?
Sacramento's home.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Chris?
I'm going to take Bobby Witt. Junior.
Oh,
Okay, good call.
You had me there for a second.
Yeah.
All right.
Good work. Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
I need to tell you and all of our fantastic listeners about an opportunity right now. You ready?
I am so ready. Hey, wait, can I ask you a question?
You can.
Do you think a dog would be the worst type of thing to put on a witness stand? Because if they were trying to lie, there's no way they can because their ears and tails give it away.
As opposed to what, other animals?
Yeah, like wouldn't a dog be the worst? Because if you ask him something and he's excited, there goes the tail, no matter what. And then if you ask him if he's guilty of something, the ears immediately, the droop, the ears go down. I don't think dogs are good liars.
Yeah, not sure I want a hippo in there.
Well, why? Because a hippo would eat you?
Possibly.
It's so
I wouldn't
funny.
really be worried about it lying anymore.
Yeah, that's true. And then those little cute ears, the Shrek ears go.
Yeah.
And then it eats you. Dog.
Or the other end.
Oh, like that video?
Yes.
With the tail. Oh my God, you're absolutely right. That wasn't great.
That would clear out the courtroom.
What else do you have to tell us about?
That this September, you can feel the thunder with the ultimate high voltage live boxing event you've got to see to believe. Right now over at sacktownsports.com, you can enter to win tickets to check out the Thunder Showdown only at Thunder Valley Casino Resort, September 21st. Terms and conditions apply. For more information and enter to win, visit sacktownsports.com. That's the Thunder Showdown boxing live event at Thunder Valley.
You know, I haven't been to a boxing match in a long time. Just a regular old boxing's one of those. It's an underrated. Look, I'm probably not going to know a single fighter that's fighting there, and it doesn't matter. It's actually, I mean, again, you got to be into it. But Chris, you've been to boxing matches before?
It's been I think the last match I went to, my cousin, he fought for a little bit, but like match or like as a supporter, probably at Arco.
Oh, wow. How come we earlier in the show, we were talking about match versus game. How come boxing gets match and it also gets bout?
That's a great point, and it doesn't get game.
No, it's not a game. It's a match or a bout.
You're going to go to the boxing game.
Or a fight.
Yeah, you're going to go to the fight? Hey, there's a great bout tonight. Ooh,
that feels weird. I don't like bout.
Bout?
That feels like it's prestigious.
The bout?
The bout.
Yeah.
But then if like two, like last night, you could have said, oh, Ravens and Chiefs. That's a heavyweight bout.
True.
Ooh, wait a minute. It's also Isn't it also a tilt?
Maybe.
I
have to ask the dog on the witness stand.
It's gonna wag its tail, dude. What? When we come back, Greg Papa.
Are we sure?
Greg Papa, the voice of the Niners, as we finish out the week. Final hour, everybody, right after this.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Sacramento, Dirks Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Carmelie.
I want to close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich.
Be the difference.
Dasha. And more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House. High voltage live boxing action returns to Northern California Saturday, September 21st at the venue at Thunder Valley with Thunder Showdown featuring the undefeated 12th ranked welterweight in the world, Amari Jones. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Fight card subject to change.
Get your tickets for the Marysville Stampede September 14th and 15th at MarysvilleStampede.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. KHTKAM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sacktown Sports.
San Francisco!
He has nearly 40 years of broadcasting in Northern California. The voice of the San Francisco 49ers, Greg Papa. Sponsored by Sunpoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard of the public adjusting industry.
Oh, yeah, the gold standard. Shout out to Sunpoint and shout out to the start of the season as we welcome in, goosebumps, butterflies, all of it, Jason Ross, the voice of your San Francisco 49ers on your home of the San Francisco 49ers. Will this be the season, please? Football Jesus, please let it be the season. The one, the only Greg Papa. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Dave. Jason, we missed you last week. Welcome back. And,
Thank you.
Thanks to Sun Point, and the sun is out in Northern California. My car is pointing due south. I'm heading directly to Levi's right now. We're getting ready for a Friday practice, which is like a Thursday practice in the NFL, which is kind of a big one. And then the one tomorrow, walk through on Sunday, and then, watch football tonight with Green Bay and Philly and last night's game, and then all the games on Sunday, and Rams go Sunday night, then we get to go at the end. So I kind of like it. It would have been better to play last night because the defending Super Bowl champions have that Thursday game. And that's all I was thinking about when I was watching the game last night. They could have been at Levi's, could have been us. But it's nice to play on Monday Night Football.
How much do you love that routine, Greg, that you just kind of said, like, look, watch last night, you'll watch tonight, you'll watch the weekend, you got your game to prepare for in the meantime, just the cycle, the routine, you've done it for year after year, but you've got to love this at this point.
Well, that's the beauty of playing on Monday night, Jason. I get to watch all the games and see how they handle the dynamic kickoff rule. And, Kansas City just had Butker touch it back last night. He just kicked it through the end zone and gave it to him on the 30. He's got a great leg. I don't know if the Niners will do that with Jake Cody, but in any event, yeah. I mean, that's and the game last night was so thrilling and back and forth. And, they're both good teams. So we're going to play Kansas City at home this year, but may see Baltimore in the Super Bowl. Who knows? And then the game tonight is Green Bay and Philadelphia. When you look at, the NFC and, behind the Niners, the Lions are clearly there. But Philadelphia added Saquon Barkley, among other things, in the offseason. And Green Bay added Josh Jacobs. And Aaron Jones is a really good player. But Josh Jacobs is a special running back. A couple of years ago with the Raiders, he broke Marcus Allen's single-season record for Raider history and led the league in rushing. Those are two great gets. So it's always nice to watch the league. That's the other side of it is when I'm working on Sunday, like the following week in Minnesota, I'll have to catch up and watch the games later because, we'll be playing right when they all get kicked off on Sunday morning. So it's nice when you have a standalone game like a Monday night when you can watch the league around that game.
One of the million reasons I love having you on, Greg, is because you can answer the wonkiest of wonky NFL questions. There was approximately 746 illegal formation penalties called last night, and that is a point of emphasis for the referees. In your opinion, are the Niners, based on their offense and how things run, are they a team you worry at all about as opposed to other teams when it comes to being susceptible to that call?
Well, they motion, old Miami. It's mainly the former Niner coaches that are running offenses in football. Mike McDaniel, Kyle. They do so much pre-snap motions, so you're always susceptible. Kansas City's right tackle, the young guy Taylor, he's back a lot all the time. He was the most penalized player in football. But Kansas City was really impressive last night on how they flipped their tight ends up on the line and back off the line. They would do it all the time. And they like to move Kelsey off of it. So Kelsey would be up on the line in an inline wide position, and then he'd flip with the other tight end and back up, and then Kelsey would go in motion. So the way Andy Reid does it is genius. Where Baltimore was violating a lot last night, and it got to be comical, was their left tackle, Ronnie Stanley, was back too far. It wasn't motion. So they give you a little latitude. So the center's waistband is kind of a line of scrimmage there in those situations, Dave, where the tackles or the guards, they can't line up with their helmet behind the waistband of the center. What they're doing now, and a lot of times they're in 2-point stances, they don't get down to the 3. And the reason I know so much about this is Trent Williams does it all the time. So I watched Trent, watching him yesterday in practice, and I was standing right next to the down judge. We were talking about it. That Trent, he very seldom gets down on the 3-point stance. He's up in a 2 most of the time. I worry sometimes when he gets down to the 3 that he tips that it's going to be a run play. but, he's so good at disguise. He knows what he's doing. But what Ronnie Stanley was doing, and how many times did he line up too far back last night? I lost track, half dozen times.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Baltimore's O-line coach, Alessandro, he passed away,
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago, a week ago, so it was kind of heavy. But, I was thinking, where's the O-line coach? Well, the poor man died. He's been in the league forever. So I don't know if that had an impact. I was surprised Harbaugh had patience with him. I thought he'd just pull him out of the game or at least get in his ear. He did it on that first drive, and they scored anyway. He did it like 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're watching the Niners, just watch Trent, because he's the one that backs up a little bit. He's right up against the line. I can't remember him getting called for it too much, but he is one that is right on that line. So watch the crown of his helmet and make sure that it's even with the waistband of the center, Jake Brendel. Then he's good. If he's back too far, they're going to flag him. And I think based on last night, that's going to be a point of emphasis around the league this year.
Greg, as far as Trent Williams, you brought him up, and great news that he's back. He's reported, he's signed. Also, Christian McCaffrey just came back this week. Those two guys are so phenomenal and so important to what they do. Do you expect in game one any rust or any lingering? How long do you expect until they're looking like all-pro form?
No, those guys are fine. I think Trent's fine. He's working more this week. He actually practiced yesterday, Jason, which was a technically a Thursday, but it's a Wednesday practice when you get ready for a Monday. And once the season starts, Trent very seldom practices on Wednesday. He takes the day off and then he works with his teammates. So he'll be fine. There may be a little rust and cardio he's got to knock off. McCaffrey's fine. When you have a calf injury, my antenna goes up right away because of what happened to Kevin Durant. Calves, if they're low calves, get into the Achilles. So people are freaking out that Kyle said Achilles tendon yesterday. To me, that's always when I hear calf, and that's the concern. So I think they have to, be careful that it goes away. But he had a calf injury last year, and you see him all the time with the Theragun. Even literally in practice when he's in between reps, he'll bring out the Theragun and work on his neck and his back and his calves. So he knows how to manage that. He'll be fine. I think the guy is the IU, just running routes and getting up to speed. And Brandon never comes off the field. He's out there like 98% of the snaps. So I don't think he'll be able to play that much in this game. But they got Chris Conley at X wide receiver right behind him. Jawan Jennings can play X as well. So I think McCaffrey will be fine, and hopefully he doesn't do more to it. And Trent will be fine. It's Ayuk and just how many snaps he can play in this game.
Greg Papa joining us, the voice of the 49ers. Greg, I'll ask you the same question I asked Jason earlier, and we'll go back to last night's game. And it's game one, I understand. But so much of what the Niners are going to do this year, the Chiefs are right there on the other side. All signs point to getting back to the Super Bowl, and all signs point to they're going to have to at some point get to Patrick Mahomes. So did you see anything last night, or do you see anything compared to last year with the Chiefs? Anything where you go, they might be a little vulnerable this year?
Horrible?
Oh, no, vulnerable. Any sort of vulnerability.
I didn't see that last night. I mean, they look pretty good. The one thing long term is they did lose L'Jarius Sneed, who's one of the best corners in football. And he was playing in the nickel a lot, but they moved Trent McDuffie in there last year, and he's the one that blitzed a lot against the Niners in the Super Bowl. They lost Willie Gay, in the offseason and to free agency. He's now in New Orleans, and he's a great player, very fast and big. But they've got, Drew Tranquil, they got Nick Bolton, they got Leo Chanel. They've got, if they suffer an injury in the linebacking core, they're going to miss Willie Gay. They're good. And their defense was great last year, one of the best in the league with Spags. Their offense, they didn't have the weapons they have now. Right. They got Juju Schuster back. Everybody's freaking out over Xavier Worthy, who Buffalo traded Kansas City that pick, which was perplexing. I think what he did last night, I want to see if he can run routes and hold up. He ran the reverse, the end around, the Debo play, and he showed great speed and running ability, but they blocked that so well. Their guys were just out. They know how fast he is, so they were just out in space to get out in front of him. It was so impressive how they blocked that. Nobody laid a finger on him. And then the touchdown down the sideline, Baltimore busted the coverage. They just let him go. So he had three touches last night, 2 touchdowns. So, I'm not going to make any great proclamations about him. His speed will be a problem. The guy who looks better, and I know you wanted me to ask for vulnerabilities, but Rashee Rice looks better than last year. Just the way Patrick's always looking for him. He looks for Kelsey all the time in big situations, but last night on those in-cutting routes, those Debo in-cuts, he was just popping open, whether they put a corner on him or linebacker or safety, or they found some spots in there. They fed him the ball. That was their main attacking point last night was Rashee Rice, and it all played off of that. So I wish I could have said something last night. They look like they've got more weapons around the quarterback, at wide receiver, tight end, Pacheco, than they had last year. So they look like Kansas City to me. You still got to deal with them.
Greg Papa joining us, the voice of the 49ers. Greg, the Niners get the Jets first. Chiefs are the team to watch, and obviously as the defending champs. But other people in the AFC are kind of calling the Jets a trendy pick. They got to 7 wins last year without really quarterback play at all. Rodgers is back. Defense should be good. Offense looks solid. What do the Niners have to worry about in the matchup on Monday?
Well, obviously with Aaron Rodgers and his elite throwing ability, and I know he's coming off an Achilles, but we didn't see a lot of video from him in training camp. But you could see he didn't play in the preseason, Jason, but he looks like Aaron Rodgers, and he's one of the most special throwers in the history of football. The Jets had Joe Willie Namath, who could just flick his wrist and the ball would fly like a jet out of his hand on those bad knees. This guy is different, just the way he drops angles, and he's just elite. So the way you beat him, and the Niners have beaten him all 4 times in the playoffs, and 2 with this Nick Bosa defense, is you make him uncomfortable in the pocket, and you don't let him have time to hit his back foot and carve you. And that, to me, they've got weapons. Garrett Wilson, the wide receiver, tremendous player. The running back, Breece Hall, not only a great runner, but he led the league last year with running back catches. He had 73, even more than McCaffrey or Alvin Kamara. He's special. So the reason you take away his weapons and his ability to find them is to put him on his back and make him get it out fast and hit him and make him feel uncomfortable. So to me, this game comes down to Nick Bosa and Leonard Floyd and the new version of this D-line, the Gold Rush, getting after their rebuilt offensive line. They got 3 new starters on the O-line, 2 with tackles, Tyron Smith, the former Cowboy, Morgan Moses, the right tackle, has been all over the league. Morgan's as old as Moses. So he's got a little age on him. He'll get Leonard Floyd. Nick will pick where he lines up, but I think Nick likes to rush over Tyron Smith. So I think that's the secret of the game. In order to fuse Rodgers and his special natural throwing ability and Wilson and Breece Hall, you gotta get him on his back and hit him and make him play fast pass, get the ball out of his hand quickly, and then rally up and tackle.
Well, you went through it, Greg, and apart from this matchup specifically against the Niners, I look at the Jets, and that defense has carried them for a while, and they managed to get some wins last year where they hurt Aaron Rodgers and obviously issues at quarterback. You mentioned Breece Hall. Obviously, Garrett Wilson is a phenomenal young wide receiver. It just comes down to, very obviously, Aaron Rodgers. If you knew right now Aaron Rodgers was healthy, is there any reason for you to think the Jets aren't a bona fide playoff contender in the AFC?
If they protect him,
yeah,
and he plays all 17 games, they can be a good team. But I think I don't know if Tyron Smith's going to stay healthy all year, and they did take Fashional as a backup behind him, a very high draft pick to play left tackle. He's a good player, but he's young, but he's got skill set. I don't know if they can count. Those guys have injury history. Tyron Smith's not been healthy for a whole season since 2015. Morgan Moses had a pec injury last year and then another injury the year before. You're buying older players with injury history, so we'll see. If they stay healthy and they're what they can be, now they're not in their primes anymore, they can still be effective, and Rodgers has to, deal with that. Yeah, they're in a tough division. And Buffalo's lost some people, but Buffalo's good. Miami's good. The AFC is loaded. When I looked at their schedule after this first Niners game, they've got some winnable games they can get to. They play on a Thursday early in the year. They got 3 games their first 11 days. But I'm not going to put them in the Super Bowl. I don't think they're as good as Kansas City and their other team. They did beat Houston last year, which was shocking pretty solidly. So a lot of ifs there. And then a lot of times when you have an Achilles injury, it sets off a chain reaction on other body part injuries the next year, as we know with Durant. So we'll see. I mean, that's a lot to ask for. But if Morgan Moses, Tyron Smith, and Aaron Rodgers stay healthy and play all 17 games, and they're a reasonable facsimile of their careers, Rodgers a first ballot Hall of Famer, Tyron's a borderline Hall of Famer, yeah, this could be a good team, and their defense is good. The one thing about their defense, and they're good, and Quentin Williams is good, and Sauce Gardner, even last year, they were vulnerable to the run. So in this game specifically, on Monday night, can Robert Saleh's defense, and they know each other so well, stop Kyle Shanahan's, state-of-the-art, highly sophisticated running game? And then with Ayuk, although Ayuk may not be able to play as much as he usually does, I want to see the matchup where Ayuk blocks Sauce Gardner. Sauce is a great player, but he's skinny. He's got skinny legs. He's 190 pounds at 6'3"? Is he going to be able to get off Ayuk's block and go tackle in the run game on Monday night?
Greg, as the season is here, basically, what questions, concerns do you have? I mean, the Niners have been so consistently good. A lot of the same pieces are returning. You mentioned some new guys coming in on the O-line, but what concerns would you have going into this year for this team?
It's just injury. I think if they're healthy, they're loaded. I mean, people are talking too much about who didn't take part in training camp, and I get it. Trent Williams is a first ballot Hall of Famer and an All-Pro left tackle, and Ayuk is made All-Pro last year, and McCaffrey was out at the end. And that's the essence of the Niner running game. And they run that pin and pull play going wide left. The pinner, they used to call it a toss crack, and now it's a pin and pull is the vogue term. The pinner is Ayuk blocking at wide receiver on the defensive end. He comes down and cracks on the defensive end. It's unbelievable. And then the puller is Trent Williams out in space. And then you get Juszczyk and you get Kittle out there. And then you get the ball to McCaffrey. I mean, they're the best at what they do. So that's the core of what they do. So they gotta look like themselves, but I have no reason to believe they're not going to be themselves, if not immediately, almost immediately. And then beyond that, I tell me where there's a weakness. Tell me where there's a weakness. I thought where Brock, he wants some plays back in the Super Bowl. Brock's not 6'1", so they pressure over the right guard to, get in his throwing lane when he hits the midline. And Kansas City did it with Chris Jones. Teams do that to him. And they pressure in the middle. Dominic Thuney, the rookie starting at right guard, I want to see what he does if he gets Quentin Williams or Javon Kinlaw or Solomon Thomas on Monday night. That could maybe be an upgrade. And Feliciano played well last year. I think Burford's getting healthy. I mean, beyond that, tell me where this team is weak. Where do they have a weakness? The same question you posed about the Jets. If the Niners are healthy and their guys play almost every game this year, how do you beat them unless you're Mahomes in Kansas City? And I mean, where's the weakness on the football team?
Well, and the defense certainly is not a weakness. It's a strength. But let me ask you about the defense between people coming and going and, of course, Greenlaw and different injuries they're dealing with. How would you compare this year's defense to last year's defense?
I mean, to your point, Dave, I mean, if you ended up seeing a weakness last year, it was the run defense.
Yeah.
And they did not play the run well late in the year. They didn't play the run well against Green Bay the entire game. And they didn't play it well in the first half against Detroit. And they did a good job against Pacheco in the Super Bowl. I think they're arguably, Eric Armstead's a great player, but I think getting Malik Collins, Javon Hargrave looks better to me this year. He's more acclimated in this wide nine system. And then you had Leonard Floyd, who's probably the best bookend Nick's had since a healthy D Ford. So I'm just looking at that D line. And go back to the 2019 team that went to the Super Bowl. And Nick was a rookie then. You had Nick at one end, D Ford at the other. D Ford was so fast until he hurt his hamstring. And then the two inside guys were the Oregon Tallfers, DeForest Buckner and Armstead. But if they had a weakness, they were too tall. They were 6'7". They're basketball players. So you could double team them and use their size to, underneath them and leverage them. I think there's a chance Malik Collins and Hargrave are a more effective D-tackle combination because they're lower to the ground. They run the stunt game with Nick better a little bit because they're, sometimes Armstead and Buckner got a little sloppy with that because they were tall and top heavy. And then you got Jordan Elliott and I don't know about Gross-Matos playing in this game with a knee injury, but he got Beal and some unknowns behind. But I think the D line, at least as far as what they call the alphas, which is the starting group, both Floyd, Collins, and Hargrave a year in this system, Dave. I think it has a chance to be better than the group certainly last year, and arguably as good as my original Gold Rush, which was the 2019, Bosa's rookie year team.
Wow. Is there a name, Greg, that they're so familiar with what they've done the last couple of years, the consistency now with Purdy and certainly McCaffrey, and then we all know Ayuk, Kittle, and what Debo's done, even Jennings to that extent. Is there a name maybe offensively that's not in the mix? And heck, it may end up being Pearsall. What a story he could be that we'll be talking about with this offense as the year goes along that maybe we're not talking about enough now.
Well, I'll give you one on each side of the ball, Chase. Offensively, Jacob Cowling.
Okay.
And I think did you watch the New Orleans preseason game? Did you watch the Raider preseason game? The New Orleans preseason game, he was electrifying. Running back punts, the route down the sideline for 38 yards, the Raider game, the touchdown pass from Dobbs. Jacob Cowling's going to play. I think it would have been between him and Ricky Pearsall returning punts and being that fourth, wide receiver behind Ayuk, Tebow, and Juwan. Now it's going to be Cowlings, and I think they'll use him like Tebow, but with more speed. That jet sweep speed that he has. What Kyle calls the cheater motion, the Miami uses it with Tyreek Hill, the exit motion, just so fast. So he's got that kind of speed. So look for him. He changed his number. In the preseason, he was 83. He's going to wear 19 on Monday night. So just keep an eye on him, the rookie Jacob Cowling. And then on defense, you haven't seen him much because he didn't play in the preseason because he had a bad low ankle, but it was a bad ankle injury. Isaac Yadam, I think, will be the starting outside corner. When they're in their base, it'll be Diamador, Lenore, and Charvarius Ward like it was last year. But when they go nickel, it'll be Yadam. Could be Renardo Green as well, but probably Yadam being a veteran. But we're number 22. He's just a high cut kind of corner who can play press man, good feet long, kind of prove he can tackle a little bit. So you're going to see him, play a lot of snaps on Monday night for sure.
Greg Papa joining us as we wind down. And let me ask you one last thing about Brock Purdy. Look, I don't want to go crazy here, but Patrick Mahomes should be the favorite to win MVP. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. I know you don't pay attention to odds and talking heads and all that, but is it fair to, with the weapons, the exposure, the expectation of what they're going to do this year, and the fact that he's now entering his second full year, third year in the league, is it silly or homerish to say Brock Purdy should be in the MVP conversation this year?
Well, he was in the MVP conversation last year, Dave, until Christmas night.
Yeah.
Going into that Christmas night game against Lamar in Baltimore, it was the number one seed in the NFC, the number one seed in the AFC, and the two top candidates for MVP. And then Brock had his worst game he's ever had. And they intercepted him 4 times. And ultimately the quarterback makes the call. I think it was Mike McDonald, their defensive coordinator in Baltimore, is now the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks in our division. Just had a great game plan to choke off the middle of the field. All the 9 are in breaking routes. The Debo dig, the Kittle over the middle, the Ayuk slant, the McCaffrey option route over the middle. They took it all away. They tipped balls. They intercepted balls. Brock threw 4 picks that night. And he got early in the second half, he got pulled. And Sam Darnold came in and threw one. So, and then Lamar ran all over you in big plays, and they won. So Lamar won the MVP. Brock dropped to 4. Christian McCaffrey finished 3rd last year in MVP, and Brock was 4. And, Lamar won. He watched the Super Bowl. Brock played in the game. And so, yeah, I think he was right there last year till the end of the year. If he has a big game that night and Lamar throws 4 picks, it's possible Brock's the MVP of the NFL. So I think he's, without a question, he's a worthy candidate to be. But, if he does win it, it's going to be, big brain Brock and his processing, getting the ball out. And he's got to make some throws and let it rip. He's got an elite arm set and feet. And, he just, besides being 6 feet 5/8 of an inch, he doesn't really have a weakness either. But sometimes his lack of size comes into play. Drew Brees should have won multiple Super Bowls in New Orleans, but I think there were just, big moments and big games where his lack of size just cropped up at the wrong time to lose you a game. But yeah, I think Brock, and if everybody healthy stays healthy around him and the offensive line protects him and all these weapons are healthy, there's no question. He could lead the league in assists this year and be the most valuable player in the NFL.
5:20 Monday. We get all weekend of football, including tonight, and a full slate Sunday. And then the finale, the encore, if you will, the main event for a lot of us. Jets and Aaron Rodgers at the big 501 Gene taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Greg,
I'm pulling it right now. Jason, do you detect a little trepidation in Dave's voice? Do you think the Jets are going to come in here and stay even or win the game on Monday?
He's always nervous.
No, I think the Niners are going to win. I do. But number one, I worry about, they're not a dynastic team because they haven't won the Super Bowl, but they're a perennially good team. And sometimes those teams don't come out of the box right. More importantly, if it's Aaron Rodgers and all those weapons going off, yeah, I do think it could be a good game. And I do like that Jet defense. Your point is well taken, though, about the run game. I know the Niners have some knocks. I don't think this is going to be a blowout, but what the hell do I know, Greg? As long as we get a win, I don't care how we do it.
You know what? You've got two different sides of your brain. Your Sacramento Kings fan brain comes out overwhelmingly, and you're just all Dick Pavetta. You see Dick Pavetta too much. You got to remember, these guys have won 5 Super Bowls, so,
You're right. No,
your Niners brain needs to come out every once in a while.
You're absolutely right. Exactly. That comes from a lot of Steph Curry shots against us, Greg. Okay. You can understand. Have a wonderful call, friend, and we'll talk to you next Friday, hopefully after a big opening night win.
Thank you, my friend. Take care, Jace.
Thanks, Greg.
That is Greg Papa. We will take a break. He is right. I mean, he is 100% right about that.
He read you.
He read me like I was a coverage. When we come back, what to watch, celebrity birthdays, a lot of stuff going on this weekend. And then don't forget Friday fun and games as we finish out the week. Final half hour of the program coming up next.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
There are any number of reasons you might consider selling your home. To move closer to family, live within a smaller budget, or just wanting a change of scenery. Whatever your reasons, having to figure out all the various housing market trends in your area may not be what you signed up for. That's where an agent who is a realtor comes in. Realtors have the expertise to help you find the right price and navigate the process to sell your home in a way that's right for you. That's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/rewards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
The only place you'll find De'Aaron Fox is Sacktown Sports.
Spins away from the defender. In the paint, soft floater. That's a great play by De'Aaron Fox.
Hey, Sacramento, it's De'Aaron Fox, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, home runs have been a big story for the A's as they hit 16 on the recent road trip, and they picked it up back at home on Labor Day with 2 by Shea Langoliers, including a walk-off, giving him 25 for the year, including 24 while catching. In the long history of the A's franchise, only Terry Steinbach hit more while behind the plate. He hit 34 back in 96.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? Now through September 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for just $15 a month, add the new Stream Saver. That includes Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $35 a month. Switch at Xfinity.com today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity internet or TV and price subject to change.
Insurance companies perform a very valuable service, but they want to keep their money. Although most cases settle before trial, it is paramount that the insurance companies know that if pressed, your legal team has the experience to take your case all the way. For 25 years, Ashton & Price has earned the reputation that if the insurance company isn't fair, we're ready to force them to be fair. My mom used to warn me, wait till dad gets home. Think of us as dad. The best part, there's no fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
For most of the people that walk in our store, it's been an ongoing, nonstop issue, and they're finally walking into the Good Feet store. Okay, the guy that came into my store last year that has had plantar fasciitis for 30 years. I looked at him, I said, "Are you kidding me? I've been here for 14. Where have you been?" I helped relieve a problem that's plagued him for 30 years. I mean, how do you not go home and talk about that?
Come to the Good Feet store now for a free fitting and test walk.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code CLEAN to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code CLEAN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code CLEAN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You ain't black to me unless you got a case of water on the floor at home. I walk around with my hands behind my back. Can I see your pantry, please? Or laundry room, they the same, I think. You know him from ABC's Blackish and his latest Netflix special, Charlene's Boy, actor and comedian Dion Cole. My New Normal Tour, September 15th at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Dion Cole live.
Get your tickets for the Marysville Stampede September 14th and 15th at MarysvilleStampede.com.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
All right, final half hour of the program. Wow, someone's getting their papers together.
Well, I've got another giveaway, Dave.
Oh, let's bribe the folks. Go ahead, Jason. Jason Claus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they call me. Dave, you know this because we talked to head coach of the UC Davis Aggies, Tim Plow, earlier this week. Every Wednesday, 6:45. Shredville. You can see Shredville in person. We've got a 4-pack of tickets to see the UC Davis Aggies home opener, plus a parking pass as well, as UC Davis football is back in action tomorrow. Sacktown Sports, again, partnering up with UC Davis, are giving away some tickets right now for you to pull up to see the Aggies host Texas A&M Commerce. That's tomorrow. Hit the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now. We're looking for caller number, got to be quick, number 2.
Wow.
To win the family 4-pack plus our exclusive parking pass. 916-339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Caller number 2, you win the family 4-pack For more information, visit sacktownsports.com.
I got to tell you something before we move on. I know I say this a lot, but in this case, it's legit. I hate Texas A&M Commerce. I freaking hate them, dude. I hate them. You know, they call themselves the Athletics.
They do?
No, they call themselves the Lions. Sorry, I misread that. Yeah, I hate them. Because when I Googled what they were, it said Texas A&M Athletics, but they were talking about like all their sports, and they're the Lions. Yeah, more like LYINS whenever they say they're cool.
Yeah, I get to go there in a couple weeks. Sac State goes there.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh,
what's going on in Commerce?
Oh, I'll bet you Commerce, Texas is just amazing this time of year.
It's crazy.
It's up as
all the way up.
All the way up, as the kids say, in Commerce, Texas. Yeah, I hope they come in here and just limp back home with their stupid lion tails between their legs.
Bat raced, boat flapped.
By the way, I opened the garage door during the last break, so
Bat's out.
Yeah, 89 degrees in Commerce today, with humidity at 62%.
When they say it's a Chamber of Commerce day, what do they say in Commerce?
They say it's just the chamber.
Oh, okay.
It's just the chamber. Step into the chamber.
Yes.
Time to go. All right, we got a lot of stuff to do here. What to watch this weekend? We got obviously we have football. We have Packers Eagles tonight. Giants and Padres. This time, as opposed to the other times, though, Jason, it's for real.
Yeah, longtime rivals.
And I will say this: I got a text from my wife last night, and she said, if we can, it would be cool to take the kids to an A's game before they leave.
Running out.
Yeah, and that is true. The Tigers host the A's tonight, and I think I do. It's that tightrope of I don't want to give them any money. On the other hand, maybe I'll try. This is where I'll try to take advantage of our job. Maybe I can get comp tickets.
There you go.
You know what? There's probably no chance I will get comp tickets. But would like to take them to the Coliseum one last time.
You should.
All right. We got celebrity birthdays to get to. Hopefully a big weekend today, Jason.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Just me and Chris?
Just you and Chris. A battle royale. And you know what? I say that with our first birthday, it is just going to be Chris, and there's a reason behind it, because I am not 99.9%. I'm 100% sure, Carmichael Dave, that you will know the answer to the first birthday.
Okay.
I'm removing you, and you'll know why in a moment.
All right.
Again, our birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends. And what brings family and friends together? Nothing like crumble cookies.
Crumble with more.
So the first birthday, Chris Verlaud and Chris Verlaud only. Happy birthday to one of Carmichael Dave's best friends. He grew up with this legend, Derek Lee.
Derek Lee, I would have to say, is a solid 67.
Dave, is he right?
He's a little off. Stupid. Come on.
Chris, do you want a real answer?
50.
Okay, pretty close.
Still too high. I wouldn't say it's close. There's a huge difference between 50 and 49.
He is 49, Dave. You got it. So I was 100% right.
Yeah, got him a what was it? It was a Lego. It was like a Lego. I think it was like a Lego baseball field, or it was a Lego baseball something for his 13th. I remember that. His parents used to, Pam and Leon used to throw some pretty damn good birthday parties.
Did you get him that gift because you kind of wanted it?
I wouldn't say that. I would say maybe I wanted to help put it together.
Okay.
Maybe.
I mean, it was always a smart move to get a friend a gift, because you're like, oh, maybe I'll get that.
I was never a Lego person. Was that one of the things where you hope that you got to put it together with the person that you gave it to?
That's the thing, is I was never a Lego guy either, so I needed to do it with somebody that knew what they were doing. Legos and model planes and stuff. Again, we go back to the operation thing, the game. Not good for old Carmichael Dave. Not Not a good model put together, and not great at Legos. But
building a model airplane, she says. Well, we're not buying it.
All right, guys, we've got 6 birthdays. Will we end in an advantage for someone or a 3-3 tie? Let's see. Happy birthday today to Idris Elba.
Oh God, I think he's older than I think he's far older than he looks. I'm gonna say Idris Elba is 55.
56.
Carmichael Dave with a win, 52. Happy birthday, John Wall.
Oh, the rookie Wall, we used to say. No, we didn't. John Wall from Kentucky. I should know this. John Wall from Kentucky is 34?
32.
We have a correct answer. It goes to Carmichael Dave, up commanding 2-0 right now.
Man.
Happy birthday, Rosie Perez.
Oh, I'm not going to like this one.
That's Quahog.
Rosie Perez. Rosie Perez, star of White Men Can't Jump.
Do the right thing.
60.
63.
Wait, what did you say, Dave? 60 what?
60.
And Chris said 63.
Correct.
We have a correct answer, and it goes to Carmichael Dave. 3-0. Chris needs a comeback just to tie. Kevin Willis.
He's got a Wikipedia in front of him.
I do not. And by the way, we're not even counting Derek Leary before nothing. Kevin Willis, former Atlanta Hawk. Kevin Willis this is going to also make me sad, is 57.
55.
Carmichael Dave's closer, 62.
Oh,
Mark Andrews of his, 2 catches last night from the Ravens.
Mark Andrews is 31.
29.
We have a correct answer, and it goes to Christopher Laud, 29. And the last one, comedian Jeff Foxworthy.
We're Chris's favorite comedian.
He might be watching Boston General.
Jeff Foxworthy is 63.
He is 71 today.
Carmichael Davis closer, 66.
Oh. Wow.
5-1 advantage.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are dirt!
When we come back, Friday Fun and Games, we wrap up the week right after this.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
A handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley's coming to town.
Getting drunk on a plane.
For his only show in California this year, Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park for Country in the Park 2.
What was I thinking?
And he's bringing some friends. Carmelie.
I want to close your eyes for this.
Tyler Rich. Dasha. And more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by the California Army National Guard and Red's Pizzeria and Tap House.
A new Honda? Nice. Well, it was like this. It was a super hot day, so we all stopped for some ice cream. When bam, the AC went out. My dad started sweating and was all, man, I stink. And my brother was like, I hate this car. And my mom was all, I'm dying in here. Then I said, it's time to call Stockton Honda. Then Dad was like, honey, you're right. I knew you were my favorite. And just like that, Stockton Honda to the rescue.
Hey, what's up, Sacramento? It's Kyle Draper. Turn up the cleanliness at your restaurant, healthcare, or industrial business with Alsco Uniforms, the official sponsor of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew. We've got you covered with crisp uniforms, hygienically clean linens, floor mats, and of course, mops delivered weekly. But that's not all. Alsco Uniforms also offers weekly services for first aid and restroom supplies. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco uniforms. Just go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's ALSCO.com.
High voltage live boxing action returns to Northern California Saturday, September 21st at the venue at Thunder Valley with Thunder Showdown, featuring the undefeated 12th ranked welterweight in the world, Amari Jones, plus Alan Sanchez versus Sal Briseno, and 8 more exciting undercard fights with Maribel Guerrero, Blake McKernan, Gabriel Garcia, Anthony Hernandez, Ruben Torres, Alexander Espinosa, and more. Don't miss the Thunder Showdown, September 21st at Thunder Valley. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Fight cards subject to change.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system? You were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
We have finally made it to Friday.
Let's end your week the right way with Friday Fun and Games.
On the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Hey, let's end the week the right way, shall we? Friday, fun and games. Just out of camera view, but I can see his hands. The lovely Chris Watkins. Alan Styles not back today, huh?
He is back. Just late arriving.
Wow.
Late arriving.
Wow.
Well, not tardy, but just
not in the room yet.
Not in the room.
I was always taught that if you're on time, you're late.
Just not in the room yet.
Not in the room. My bad. Oh, look at that.
Oh. What was that?
You know.
That was me.
At first, I thought somebody was imitating me, and then I realized that it was.
Chris cut that. I was like, wow, that was fast.
All right, so do we vamp for Jason? Jason, as they say, Jesus take the wheel. Jason, best human in the world, you take the wheel here. What do we do?
We're just going. We're going. We don't wait for anybody.
Okay,
that's right.
This is Friday Fun and Games. This is serious stuff, and Alan's making his way in here, so he'll be ready to go.
Is he ducking us?
I don't know.
After his last few performances. Wow. Okay.
He said he's ready. He's ready from afar, so we'll see how ready he is. All right, here we go. Friday Fun and Games. We played a version. That's the start of the NFL. We're doing a football-related Friday Fun and Games. And we
point counterpoint for Alan, right?
Yes, point counterpoint. Alan's favorite. And we're gonna hit the post for Chris.
No.
All these things are our Friday Fun and Games. No, we're gonna complete the list. Short list today. We're gonna go through. We got rapid fire questions here. So, Dave, you're going to start us off. Our first list is a list of just 3. Let's see if we can complete this list. So, Chris, hit the music for me if you wouldn't mind. Dave, you go first. If you get it right, we go to Alan and so on and so forth. If you miss, you're out of this category. We are looking for the most consecutive seasons of making the playoffs. Which team? There's 3 teams on this list. Who has the longest consecutive playoff streak going active right now in the NFL? Dave, you can start first on this list.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
You have picked team number 1. So we need team number 2 and number 3. Alan, who would be your guess? Longest consecutive playoff streak.
He said the Chiefs.
Yes, I heard. I would just – there's 2 teams I'm bouncing back and forth between, but I'm gonna say the Ravens.
The Ravens, incorrect.
That's a great answer.
That is a good answer.
1 strike. Alan is out there.
Oh, that was my next question.
So Alan is out. Chris Watkins, team 2 or team 3? Longest active playoff streak.
I know they finished above 5. I'll say the Steelers.
Incorrect. Chris is out. Incorrect. Sorry.
That was what I was going to say.
Christopher Ladd.
Okay.
Maybe we're thinking too big.
The Chiefs were at 9 seasons. Team 2 and team 3 is at 5 and 4.
The Eagles?
Incorrect. Dave, can you finish the list by yourself?
Clear the board.
The Bills?
Correct. That's team 2.
Ooh.
And if you could get team 3, this is Dave's list.
The Cowboys?
Incorrect. The last team, who would have thought? Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 4 years.
Wow.
That's the longest at 3.
Jeez.
All right, so Alan, you lead us off the second list. There's 4 on this list. We're looking for the longest active playoff droughts. Who owns that? 13 seasons, 8 seasons, and 2 teams at 6.
There's 4 teams?
Yep, 4 teams on this list. One's at 13 years, one's at 8, and 2 teams are at 6.
I was trying to think of teams that stink. But there's a team I have in mind, but I'm just not sure if they stink, if they've stunk for long enough. It's the Panthers?
Incorrect. Alan is out. Chris Watkins.
I know the 13 years is the Jets.
Correct. That's team number 1. Chris Verlaud.
That's what I wanted to say. The Commanders?
Incorrect.
Ooh, that's a great guess.
Incorrect. Carmichael Dave.
The Bears?
Incorrect.
That's another great guess.
It's just you, Chris Watkins. Can you finish the list?
Okay.
8 seasons and 2 with 6.
Oh, man, the Bears.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. What did you say, Chris?
The Commanders?
Oh, yeah, no. Sorry. And who did you say?
Way to go.
I know. Who did you say,
said the
Dave?
Jets.
I said
Dave
the
said the Bears.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, I thought someone,
was
when I
correct.
looked at the list, I went, wait a minute. Okay.
That's correct. The Bears
No.
is correct. Oh,
No.
Bears is incorrect. Okay. Having a lot of pump
I
fakes
had
over here,
a moment.
Jason. Okay. Let's. We got another list, so we'll make this quick. I don't think this is correct, but I'll say the Raiders.
Incorrect.
Yeah, I didn't think.
8 seasons without the. What's that, Dave?
Cardinals?
Nope. 8
Oh, that's another
seasons.
great guess.
Broncos.
Wow.
6 seasons. Falcons and Panthers. Okay.
Wait, I said
He said the Panthers.
Did you?
Yeah,
See, I
this
knew I
guy.
pump faked.
This guy.
I knew I screwed up.
Oh, there you go.
My
Alan
bad.
clears the board.
Sorry, Alan.
Hey,
Congratulations.
It's Friday.
Jason missed the playoffs.
I'm having a moment.
It
All
would
right.
be great as if like we were making this huge elaborate prank to just say that Alan was wrong.
That was my bit, and I didn't even know it was my bit. All right, here we go. Chris Watkins, you lead us off. This is the highest grossing football movies of all time.
Okay.
Money in.
Okay.
Top 5 on this list.
Remember the Titans.
Number 5,
Oh my gosh.
Chris Verlaud.
Draft day.
Incorrect.
Too high of
Dave.
a budget.
Any given Sunday.
Incorrect.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh boy.
I mean, there's so many. I just don't know what did well. I mean, based on how much it plays.
God dang it.
Wait, is this NFL or football?
Just football.
Football movies.
There's
Dang it.
2, and I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna go with Booby and say Friday Night Lights.
Yep.
Incorrect.
Wow. I would have been wrong.
It's just you.
Longest yard?
Correct. Number 3.
Oh, Adam.
Can you keep going?
Probably not. I think that's Waterboy.
Number 2. Got 1 and 4.
1 and 4. What's the highest
I think-
grossing football movie of all time?
I think I know one if you missed it. I think I can't
Okay.
believe we haven't said this.
I'll just get it wrong. Little Giants.
Incorrect. What was your other
Great
guess,
movie.
Dave?
Varsity Blues?
No, and you guys may get mad at these are called football movies. Blindside
Okay.
and Jerry Maguire.
Oh, we had that guy on our
Idiots.
show.
Okay.
Yeah, we did.
Let's finish with one more really fast. Playoff wins by active NFL head coaches.
There we go.
There's 4 on this list. Who has the most playoff wins for active NFL head coaches? Chris.
Harbaugh.
Number 2. Dave.
Andy Reid.
Number 1.
Dang.
Allen.
Tomlin.
No.
Shanahan.
No.
Oh, wow.
The last 2 are hard.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Hey,
Chris.
I don't know.
Okay.
Pass.
Dave.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you?
Mike McCarthy?
okay.
Yes, Mike McCarthy, number 3. Can we get the last one before
Go.
we go? Anybody? Throw out a guess, everybody.
McVay.
Nope.
No idea. I have no idea.
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton.
Oh, I forgot he's still coaching.
Yeah, that's
There you
right.
go.
Knuckle Walker.
All right, a full strength Styles and Watkins will recap last night's debut of the NFL, preview tonight's game in Brazil, and of course, all the fun over the weekend, plus fun and hijinks. And they're back. They're back together again. We're all excited. Thanks to Greg Papa. Thanks to Dave Richard. Thanks to the chat folk. Thanks to Jason Ross and Chris Verlaw. Jason Ross, the best human being. I'm Carmichael Dave. We'll see you Monday. Everybody have a wonderful football weekend. Bye. Bye.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Can he do it?